Hello, hello. Good evening. Magandang almost midnight sa inyong lahat. This is Direct Mark and welcome to MarkyTalk. Today is MarkyTalk. Tonight is MarkyTalk 101. Okay, for those of you who've been like watching my vlogs, mga milyon-milyon dyan na mga kaibigan at kamag-anak ko, you know that I do different formats or themes, right? We have MarkyTalk M&Ms. Okay, dahil yung aking logo ay mukha daw blue M&M. M&Ms, which stands for Music and Musings, which usually I invite musicians, singers to share their insights on their songs. We also have a Market Talk Shop, which is more thematic. I pull together our writers or I pull together online educators. But today it's Market Talk 101, which is actually the most intimate kind of format for me. But this is 101 plus. 101, usually kapag isa lang ang aking guest, I call it, and it's a one-on-one conversation, I call it Market Talk 101. But today, because we have more than one guest, well, technically, isa lang sila. Kasi sabi naman sa Bible, the husband and the wife are one, okay? So, pero still 101 plus pa rin kasi meron akong co-host. Siya muna ang introduce ko, okay ba guys? Ladies and gentlemen, another theater actress like our two main guests. Please welcome my co-host for tonight, Miss Tony Go.
Hello, hello. Good evening, Direk, and good evening sa million mong ang viewers.
Million,
Tuwing
ha?
gabi.
In my dreams.
Hello. Opo.
Akala ko lang yan. Sa illusion ko lang yan. Thank you, Tony, for joining me. You're actually the best co-host for tonight. Because, well, one of the reasons, aside from your wonderfully engaging personality, is because you know our guest well.
Yeah.
Actually, ako personally, I haven't even really worked with them. I'm just like a fan. I'm just like, I follow them, I see them on stage, and then ako yung makapalamang mukha na nakapagkaibigan sa kanila. But it's more of that. You know what I mean? Although I've known the woman, pangit naman ito. Sabihin ko na nga, alam na naman ng mga tao na Carlitos, Siguion-Reyna, and Bibeth Ortez ang ating guest. I've known Bibeth for quite a while, but actually, it's only been recently that we've kind of gotten reconnected. And I know, Tony, that ikaw mismo, you have worked with both of them, right?
Yes po, with Tanghanang Pilipino for 3 productions already since 2016. So,
Okay.
marami-rami na pa rin palang napagdaanan.
Oo. Mamaya, chismisan mo kami, Tony, ha?
Opo.
I am particularly curious as to the directing style of Direk Carlitos. Yan, ha? I-chismis mo sa amin, ha? Ilang beses ka na ba napagalitan yan?
Countless pala na hindi ko nagagalit yun si Direk.
Really? Wow, okay. That's good to know. Wait, meron na tayong mga
Sige po.
comments. Shoutout muna tayo before I call
Sige
them
po.
in. No? Maraming salamat sa mga nandito na. Okay, Joy Mata, who is also an actress, a theater actress, is already here. And then, mag-birthday greetings na rin muna tayo. Let's get it
Yes.
out of the way. Right? Wait, hold on. I will just change my banners. Okay, ako rin po kasi yung
Grabe si
technical.
Direk Mark, no? Yung talagang effort sa sa mga ganito.
Birthday shoutouts muna tayo, ha? Okay, for today, August 11, I just wanna say happy birthday to the following friends: John Villamor, Carlo Pastol, Grace Lim, Rhoda De La Cruz, Arnold Anog, Leia Columna Hadrake, which is who was my classmate in UPIS, UP Integrated School, 100 years ago. Susan Claire Agbayani. Ayan, si Claire, malapit din yan sa mundo ng teatro because she's a writer, she writes reviews, she does columns and articles for theater. Claire, happy birthday sa'yo. Today mismo ang birthday niya, no? You might wanna stay around, Claire, because with us are two of the most interesting people in the world of Philippine
Yes.
theater. Okay, and Pastor Joshua Capule, happy birthday po, and Pastor Jaime Encienzo. Meron tayong advanced birthday greeting as well. Advanced birthday greetings to Lenny Pineda de Ocampo. Hindi po edad yung 12, no? August 12 ang birthday niya. Bukas. Dr. Rom Dizon from UP Baguio, one of my bestest, dearest friends. So August 15. And Tata Nanding Joseph. Happy
Yeah!
birthday, Tata. Okay.
17.
Sa August 17 po ay birthday niya. Okay. By the way, if you also want to greet people, that's okay. Kahit medyo off topic, even people we don't know, you want to do a shout out, what I can do is just pull it up here. Like for example, kanina si Jojoy, pinull out ko na. Okay, Jefferson Escaros. Jeff, hindi ka nauna ngayon. Usually, kapag meron akong Facebook Live, itong si Jefferson Escaros, who is watching us from Taiwan, laging number 1 sa roll call. Jeff, second ka na lang, naunahan ka ni Jojoy Mata. Okay.
Nako.
Pero thank you, Jeff. Actor din yan, Tony. But he's
Hello,
now
hello,
based,
Jeff. In Taiwan? Wow.
he's now based in Taiwan. We're actually working on online projects together. No, we do readings, we do script readings. Meron kaming actors laboratory ngayon where we experiment on new scripts. And most of them, that's why I am excited about this. Most of these people are not even professional writers. These are amateurs who just want to get it out there. So join us if you're interested also, no? We have this learning lab. We call it CALL, Circle of Artists Learning Lab. Hindi po to official organization. Ano ko lang po ito, naisip lang namin magkakaibigan na magbatuhan ng mga ideya. And for all you know, out of that,
Yes.
merong lalabas na valuable pala, di ba?
Opo. Ang ganda nga rin po ng this quarantine kasi diba, nag-widen yung mga skills and talents, diba na
Actually, if you have the right attitude, this could be the best time for learning, growth, mag-ipon tayo ng bala, so to speak. Para kung kailan panahon na, marami tayong pambala. Well, I'm talking about new songs, new scripts, new poetry, no? Oh, by the way, very soon, abangan po ninyo, I'm gonna be having a poetry special also here on MarkyTalk. Okay, bago natin tawagin, magbigay na ako ng trivia question kasi gusto ko mamigay ng prizes today, Tony. Okay.
Sige po.
This is our trivia question number 1, which has to do with our one of our guests. Okay, the female, of course. Obvious naman kung sino, no? Pakibasa, Tony. Pakibasa yung question, Tony. Ay, kinda naghang ka. Hello, Tony. Magparamdam ka. Ako na po. Trivia question number 1. What is the title of the popular TV show in the 80s? Iba po sa inyo, hindi pa pinapanganak nun. That established Miss Bibeth Ortesa as the witty comedian with a heavy Visayan accent. Okay. Di ba karamihan ng mga komedyante, Tony, di ba, parang ang stereotype ay, medyo bobita, medyo ganun-ganun. Pero siya, ang kanyang character, si Bibiana, ayun, naalala ko pa, si Bibiana is a witty sidekick nung one of the leads, no? A close friend ng one of the lead actors with that strong Visayan accent. Okay, if you know the answer, you will be receiving these books. Okay?
Ako, ano bang box yan, Direk?
First choice, Unleash Your Highest Potential by Vic and Evelyn Garcia. And another one from Vic and Evelyn Garcia, Kontento ka na ba sa kaperahan mo? Okay? Plus, Dr. Andrew Lewson's Debt-Free Lifestyle. Okay, now we have 3 books for giveaway. If you guess only one of the questions, we have 2 questions. If you guess one, you get to choose one. Okay? But if you happen to guess both questions, at ikaw ang mauna, then all 3. I will be sending all 3 to you. Okay? These are books that help me personally, by the way, Tony. I'm not getting endorsed I'm not getting paid. I'm sorry, I'm not getting paid to endorse this, no, or anything to promote this. But these are books that help me personally, and I just want to share them with you. So again, what is the question? Pakibasa, Tony.
And question 1 is, what is the title of the popular TV show in the 80s that established Bibeth Ortesa as a witty comedian with a Visayan accent?
Okay. Aba,
naka-answer na. Meron ng nangunguna.
Ang sagot ni Jefferson Escaros ay School Bukol.
Bumawi. Oo, hindi kasi siya una nag-comment.
Correct. Okay, now Jeff, abangan mo yung second question. Kung ikaw rin makakuha ng second question, all 3, ay kaya lang, ang mahal, ipapadala ko sa Taiwan. I-ship ko itong mga libro sa Taiwan. Pagbalik mo lang dito, Jeff, dito sa Pilipinas,
Oo nga.
wala akong budget. ang budget ko pang Grab delivery lang at Lala Move, eh, no? Oo, mahirap pang tayo pag-usapan lang natin. Okay, pero meron pa pong question number 2. Tony, I think it's time for us to bring in our main guest. Would you do the honors of
Yes, I
introducing
will
them?
be honored to introduce to you our couple tonight pala. Yan. So, let me introduce to you Direk Carlos Siguion-Reyna. He is a film, theater, and TV actor and director and also a teacher. And he's known for the films Ikaw Pa Lang Ang Minamahal in 1992, where he won Best Director in FAMAS, FAP, and Gawad Urian. And
Wow.
he is known in Azucena in 2000. Grabe, hindi ko pa ito napapanood direct
Mm.
where he
Oh,
won.
sa
Oh,
award, sa foreign award ceremonies yan na mayagpag. Hindi ko pa rin siya
yes.
napapanood but it made waves na mayagpag. It made waves
Mm-mm.
in foreign film fest. Continue please.
Yes po. And yung Azucena naman po in 2000 where he won Grand Jury Prize in the San Diego Film Festival. Yun,
Correct.
grabe, no? But his most recent film is in Cinemalaya, Hari ng Tondo in 2014. And he was also
Oh,
known in managing a Filipino film production company, the Reyna Films, diba? In
okay.
1998, when the late Miss Amida Siguion-Reyna was appointed to be the chair of the MTRCB that year. And this is where yung lahat talaga, most of our classical films really were born.
Yes.
Ayan. Ito pa,
Oo.
Direk Marca. He's
Okay.
not just an award-winning director and producer, but also an award-winning actor. He was
Mm.
recently awarded by PhilStage Gawad Buhay's Best Male Lead Performance in a Play in Red Turnip's
Yes.
A Doll's House Part 2 last May 2019.
Napanood
Grabe.
ko yan. Napanood ko
Wow!
yan.
Grabe, grabe.
Nag-standing ovation ako.
Oo, yun. Ayan na minsan nahirap sa mga sabay-sabay na shows ng theater companies, hindi
Totoo.
napapanood. Oo. So ngayon lang namin napapanood sa mga streaming yung mga
Oo.
plays ng isa't isa. So ayan. And then the last one is we recently directed a play, of course, with us, with Tanghalang Pilipino last September 2019. It is an
Yes.
adaptation of John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men entitled Katsuri. So, Direct Mark, let's welcome Direk Carlitos Siguion-Reyna.
Hello.
Woohoo!
Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Tony. At saka good evening sa lahat ng viewers.
Good
Thank you.
evening. Good evening, good evening. In case, no, in case some of you nagsasabi na, teka lang, kulang naman yung introduction kay Direk
Oo nga
Carlitos.
eh.
Merong isang mahalagang pelikulang hindi binanggit ni Tony. Eh kasi po, yun ang trivia question number 2. So, mamaya na yun, ha? So, parang we don't wanna give that away. So, yan yun, hindi namin nakalimutan yun.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Oo.
So,
Sige.
should we call in your beautiful may bahay? Okay.
Nako, hindi pwedeng mawala.
Please do the
Sige.
honors, Tony, of
Sige po,
introducing
Direct
her.
Mark. Okay. She is an actress, a writer for TV, film, and stage, a director, and an advocate. She's written a lot of TV shows and screenplays, but she's best known for being a famous awardee for Best Story in Inagaw Mo Ang Lahat Sa Akin in 1995. And she's also the MMFF's New Wave Best Supporting Actress for Toto in 2015. And her most recent screenplay is also tandem sila ni Direk Carlitos dito, Cinemalayas Hari ng Tondo in
Ah,
2014. Yes.
si Bibeth ang nagsulat ng Hari
Yes.
ng
Yes,
Tondo.
screenplay. Yes
Ah,
po. Yes po. And she's also known for being a breast cancer awareness advocate in I Can Serve Foundation. Later, we'll delve into this, no, Direct Mark?
yes.
Yes.
Ang ganda ng kwento. Narinig ko na yung kwento many times ni Bibeth. So inspiring. You wanna stay for that, no? Kahit yun lang po ang abangan ninyo sa aming conversation, I'm telling you, you will be inspired. Continue, Tony.
Yes. And then last year, nako Direct Mark, napaka-busy talaga ni Miss Bibeth Kasi 2019, she's been involved in a lot of theatrical plays. As an
Mhm.
actress, she did Repertory Philippines A Silent Sky, January
Yes.
2019, and then Tanghalang Ateneos Dolorosa last August
Yes.
2019, and Dula ang UP's Nana Rosa just this
Yes.
February 2020. But hindi lang siya actress in the theater scene. We are also blessed by her gift in writing where she adapted John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men with Tanghalang
Yes.
Pilipinos Katsuri last September 2019. Tandem ulit. Ang love
Oo
team
nga.
na ito.
Ganda ng partnership nyo. Ang
Ang
ganda-ganda.
ganda. Well, let's all welcome Miss Bibeth Orteza. Hello.
Yay!
Hello? Hi. Hi. Grabe naman sa superlatives. Yeah.
Good evening, Bibeth. Bumati ka muna.
Hi. I like being here tonight. With being with Mark. Yung sinabi ni Direct Mark na talagang siya yung lalapit sa'yo. Talagang walang ego yan eh. Nagpapakilala agad sa'yo and ganyan. And then, of course, Tony, with whom Carlitos has worked several times sa uh, tatlong plays, no?
Yes
Tatlong
po.
plays, and then the last one nga was Katsuri. So, it's like chatting with family.
Yes. Bago tayo mag-tuloy ng kwentuhan merong mga greetings dito. I like to, bring it up as it comes From Thel Maningning, good evening sa mga haligi ng tahanan ng pelikulang Pilipino. Maraming
Thank you.
salamat, Thel,
Good
for
evening.
watching. Then ito nag-greet lang na si Danielle Digan. Hello, Danielle! Singer na magaling yan in one of the choirs na tinuruan ko before. Okay, let's get right to it. Ang dami po namin pag-uusapan, no? Kanina, yung bang introduction sa inyo ni Tony, sold na ba kayo doon? O may kontra ba kayo doon?
Marami pang kulang no? Ang haba kasi ng resume nitong dalawang to.
Well, maliban doon sa mga ngayon, si Tony and I think si JV, no, Ibesate, I think they also appeared in my Cinemalaya Film Institute class. I think mga 2 years ago ba?
Opo.
Yeah. And so that was fun.
As a filmmaker, so they're trying to learn.
I ran a class sa Cinemalaya Film Institute every summer, except this year kasi nga of the COVID. It's a production course kaya kailangan students should go out and shoot their films. Mahirap naman at this time. So we have to shelve that this year. But next year babalik.
So Tony, you're studying to be a film director as well?
Oh, I was just invited na parang let's do a scene. How will the director parang ganyan. Kami ni
As an
JB.
actress. Okay.
Klase na yun, that particular class day was about directing actors. So, and it was a directing class.
You needed to get, if there are young people watching right now, no, I am especially interested to reach out to young talents. Like we're just thinking, minsan naglalaro lang sa utak ninyo, sana pwede rin ako makapag-direct someday, makapagsulat someday, like Bibeth, stay on, because there might be something here for you, which is exactly what you need to inspire you and to move you towards your dreams. At the same time, we're going to be talking about reality, guys. Okay, this is real talk on real time. So, we don't want to glamorize the industry. Minsan akala kasi natin yung mga director, mga writer, wow, award-winning, glamorous ang trabaho nila. Grabe po ang pinagdaraanan ng mga ito. At sana
realities.
Yes. Yan ang isa rin na gusto naming matungton. I'm sure, sabi nga ni Tony, napakarami pa. Ang isang hindi rin nabanggit ni Tony yata, nung nagturo ka sa Singapore. Kasi I remember, Direk Carlitos, naglalakad tayo dun sa may CCP. Tapos ang tanong ko sa'yo, alam niyo naman ako, hindi ako mahihain magtanong sa'yo ko, Direk Carlitos, you were away for so long. Is this like your comeback? I don't know if you remember that conversation. And you told me, actually, I never left. But I was teaching more. Kaya pala, ang tagal niyang nawala sa pagdidirehe ng pelikula because you spent a big chunk of your time teaching locally and even in Singapore.
Yes. Nung 2008 to 2015, that was 7 years, I was teaching, I was on the full-time faculty professor sa New York University Tisch School of the Arts Asia in Singapore. It was a standalone school of NYU in Singapore. It was not under the Singapore system. It's a standalone siya, NYU talaga. And I taught there as I taught directing, screenwriting, and several other courses. And I was head of third-year studies for the last 2 years. And it was the same curriculum and the same faculty and admission standards that we had when I was a student in NYU Tisch sa New York back in and even now it's the same. I mean, when I was teaching that, it's the same thing until 2015. So yeah, I was teaching there. So marami akong colleagues. My faculty colleagues were, uh, from all over the world. May mga from New York, and then there were some from Europe, and some from Australia. So it's really no, it's an international faculty, and the student body was international. So about, yeah, I mean, mga 60% of those yata mga American, and then about 20% from Asia, and the remaining 20% from everywhere else in the world. So it was it was a good time. I really had some good memories there.
I
But
guess.
also nagturo din ako dito. Since 2015 I've been teaching sa Cinemalaya Film Institute. And before we went to NYU, before I taught in Tisch Asia, I was nagturo din ako for a few semesters, for 2 years yata sa UP Film Institute, and then sa Ateneo earlier on. But those were really,
Oo.
yeah, that was some time ago.
The reason why I'm interested and I ask about your being a teacher kasi napakataas ang respeto ko sa mga artist na nagtuturo. Because that means they want to share their craft. Like hindi, these are my trade secrets. Di ba? Kung writer ka, may trade secrets ako, bakit kayo share masyado? Baka ako maagawan ng mga later on, yung mga estudyante ko na hindi na ako kunin. I respect artists who also teach. I just want
It's very, I mean, not, actually, it's a two-way street. Kasi as a teacher, I also learn a lot from the students.
I
And
guess.
you really see what they're thinking, and kung ano yung basically the present cultural situation, what the kind of things that they think are worth telling stories about. So it's really, and it's inspiring. So it's it's not a one-way street na ikaw lang ang nagbibigay. It's both ways. And
Tama.
you actually get a glimpse also into the energy, and they reinvigorate you with their energy also. So it's a great, it's and I think just going back to that, I think kailangan din talaga, one of the things na would really be helpful then to a community of artists sa atin, would be really, kasi I think even, let's say it's a National Artist Awards, di ba?
Okay.
You look at the criteria. You look at the criteria, parang of course the quality, the work, the artistic standards, and then the esteem that they get from local and international, the reviews, all of that. Kasama lahat yun, okay, granted. Pero walang it's not in the criteria in sense of yung community service, which I think is really important. And community service, it could be like can take the form of whatever, political or activist engagement, o kaya teaching,
Yes.
or some other form, di ba? So I think it's really important na merong sense yun. That's part of the artists, I think. Diba? Yung kanyang-
One of the criterion. I agree.
Well, I mean, it's not there in the National
Oo.
Art Award, but I think it's an important thing that should be
Oo.
considered.
I agree. Kasi minsan ang tingin nila sa mga, lalo na sa teatro, no? Sa pelikula, medyo elitistang grupo na parang, yeah, you're there on a high pedestal. Pero hindi lahat, iilan lamang ang talagang lumalabas sa komunidad para magturo. Like
Yeah.
more willing na, di ba?
Yeah,
Lalo na sa
I
mga
think
may hirap.
that's why I really respect, let's say, yung mga like sila Peke Galiaga, the late Peke Galiaga. He was also aside from being a great filmmaker, he was also teaching sa Lasal, di ba? Lasal Bacolod for a while. Tapos sila Lino Broca, they were also actively engaged in the community. I mean, Lino Broca even became a constitutional commissioner, di ba, in the 1987 constitutional convention,
Oo.
na kung saan niya naipasok yung freedom of expression clause, a very important clause in the current constitution. Siya nakapasok nun.
Si
And
Lino
that's
pala
why
yun.
we really owe Lino Broca, the film artists, and actually all artists in the performing arts, really owe Lino Broca a lot for that freedom. Before that, kasi it's freedom of speech and freedom of the press lang. And naipasok niya expression.
Oo.
So, I mean, yung magkakaroon pang community service, I think it's really important.
I agree. Before we talk to Bibeth, meron lang greeting dito. This is Rebecca Shangkwan Unsu. She's using her husband's account. Please send my warmest regards to the power couple.
Power
Wow.
couple. Parang
Ganon. Ganon.
superpowers.
Thank you.
Parang Power
Thank
Rangers lang
you.
yun. No? Parang,
Thank you,
uh,
Rebecca.
and then this is from Miriam De La Cruz. She's a publisher, writer and publisher of books. Good evening. Looking forward to an interesting discussion. Ito pa, meron pa. Hi, Sis Bibeth. Your ate is watching. Aba?
That's my sorority sister.
Akala ko binabantayan ka ng ate mo. Okay,
Private
Bibeth.
joke.
Private joke. Bibeth, a lot of people, okay, correct me if I'm wrong ha, pero ang tingin ko sa'yo kasi you redefined, reinvented yourself for the past few years. At least from my perspective. Lalo na last year, nung namayagpag ka sa teatro, like I see you doing so many things almost all at once. Probably what? Correct my timeline. Probably for the last 2-3 years, all of a sudden, you became very prominent in the world of theater. But previous to that, kasi last year, I was one of the jurors of Gawad Buhay. Kaya we were required to watch as many plays as we could, no? Pero before that, even without being a juror, talagang enthusiast ako. And then I would see you almost, magugulat na lang ako, oh, pati tanghalang Ateneo, kasi Atenista ako. And I was president of TA during my time. May Dolorosa siya. And I would really be running to that. Bibeth made herself so visible in the world of theater, probably for the last 2 or 3 years. But previous to that, hindi masyado. Tama ba ako?
Okay. Bago ko lang makalimutan, because even if I look 45, I'm actually 66.
Of course.
Yung sinabi lang ni Carlitos about the community service pagtuturo, there was around 2007, 2008, ang Gabriela, we realized nga kasi na mahilig yung mga teleserye people na nagpupunta sa mga less fortunate areas na tinatawag. We would conduct acting workshops there. Kasi yung mga kinukuha na yung mga passerby, mura. Yung mga pwede mag-dialogue, mas mahal ang bayad sa kanila.
Okay.
So we would conduct acting workshops there for children and for yung mga So ginagawa namin yun. Yun ang aming community service. Natigil yun sandali kasi nung nauso na yung mga bangbang sa mga kubakatok-katok sa mga bahay, medyo natigil yun. Pero that's what we did. Now, about theater. I had my roots in college theater. When I was a student in UP, I was a founding member and then I became chairman of the UP Repertory Company. So, but at that time, hindi ako gaanong umaarte kasi I was one of the few who could actually calm down Ben Cervantes. Kaya pag meron kaming mga play, sasabihin ng mga kasama ko doon sa theater group, mag-PM ka na lang. Okay. Mag-SM ka na lang. Huwag ka na lang umarte. Except, ang nangyayari noon, pag may mga, pardon my French, pag may mga pok-pok roles, yun ang laging na-assign sa akin. Natigil na lang yun because Carlitos made a decent woman out of me.
Ay! Doon pala nag-start.
Hindi joke lang.
Hindi ba?
Joke yan.
Hindi. And then so I'd really been doing theater. And then natigil for a while. And then I was helping my mother-in-law dun sa Reyna Films, naging mga ganung klase. And then for the longest time since 2000, when Carlitos kasi went to Singapore to teach, that was when we were doing Aawitan Kita sa Makati at the University of Makati. It was really parang we would string operette, mga kundiman, dansa, balitaw, and OPM, and then gagawa kami ng bagong story once a month, parang opereta.
Tama.
So yun, at yung show na yun, nadala pa namin sa states yun. We traveled to, we had 15 shows in 9 states. So, yun ang mga ginagawa namin. And then, itong pagbalik ko nga sa teatro, syempre, di ba, kailangan naman ang lola nyo mag-comeback.
Bonggang-bongga.
Pero yun nga, but both of you never really left, right? Even during the times that you were less visible, you were doing a lot of stuff, theater and film related, right? Producing, writing, maybe not as visible as now, where Carlitos, nabanggit nga ni Tony, even won Best Actor Award for Adult's House. Diba? So,
Yeah,
so tama
ano,
rin.
I think
Sige.
when during my 7 years in Singapore, kasi I was directing yung Aawitan Kita sa Makati, also for about from 2005 until about 2008 when I went to Singapore na. So every month yon yung Aawitan sa Makati. Because when Aawitan Kita ran for 35 years on television.
On TV.
And then it ended in TV run in 2005. And then we went into monthly stage dito sa University of Makati.
Yes.
And it was a city government of Makati project for senior citizens. Libre yung audience papasok. And it was really fun, no? And I think that would be my first, those were my first talaga in directing theatrical productions.
I
But
see.
it was basically a jukebox musical type. You get traditional Philippine music, and then yung Bibeth would write the script every month. So I directed that for 3 years, and then I taught in Singapore, and then Bibeth took over the directing. Pero pag bumabalik ako during the summer break from Singapore, I would direct. Makakadirect ako ng a few episodes for that summer. So it continued it. I continued working dito during those 7 years.
Ilinaw ko lang just in case some of you are a little clueless, lalo yung mga millennials dyan, no? Ang ina po ni Carlitos, the mother of Carlitos, is Armida Siguion-Reyna. Just in case hindi nyo ko yung connect. She already passed away, but her TV show, Aawitan Kita, probably contributed, is probably the only, if not the one that had the most contribution to Philippine music in the television world, no? Yun ang parang advocacy ni Tita Mids. Everybody in the industry called her Tita Mids. Just in case, hindi nyo po nakuha yung connect. Ano ba yung Awitan Kita? Yun po ay TV show that ran for 35 years na musical. Nung hindi pa uso mga musical, wala pa yung mga Glee na ganyan, no? Meron na silang Aawitan Kita, which was a front runner, hindi term ko front runner, it was really pushing the beauty of Philippine music. Binuhay yung mga magagandang kondiman and made it more palatable for the masses. Tama ako, Carlitos, no?
Yeah, when it started, 1970, nag-umpisa yun. Remember, that was a television. Nobody who would dare put up all Tagalog music, 1 hour prime time. Really, that was the time of the shows, the daily shows, noontime shows, mga kumakanta sila ng mga foreign pop songs, mga Tiny Bubbles, Pearly Shells, that kind of stuff. And talagang ang tawag, and then there's a lot of American shows. So in the beginning talagang Philippine music bakya or traditional ganyan. But my mother was really serious about that advocacy, and so she really pushed it, and she commissioned works from Resti Umali, national artist Levi Celeria before he was a national artist, and a lot of the composers, sila Mike Velarde. Basically, she featured their songs, and then nung umpisa puro studio lang, and then it became location all over the Philippines. So it was, and then a lot of the singers, young singers, and then the established class from both sides of the music spectrum, classical, traditional, at saka pop. No? So they were featured there, sila Nora Honor, Rico Puno, sila later on Lea Salonga, before Miss Saigon, I believe. Yeah, I think it's before Miss Saigon. Tapos and then also classical musicians like pianist Rene Dalandan, Raul Sinicosa Silicat, Bayani Dance Company. So it was really basically Philippine music and culture.
Saka prestige yun. Pag mapasok ka sa Aawitan Kita, prestige yun. Yes, Bibeth?
I first wrote for Aawitan Kita in 1975.
Okay.
Hindi pa pinapanganak si Tony.
Hindi ko
Um,
nakikita yung mga magulang ko.
kasi yung time na yon, ang future mother-in-law ko na hindi ko alam na magiging mother-in-law ko, nakaaway niya yung kanya, nagkagalit sila nung kanyang talagang writer. At that time, in 1975, Aawitan Kita was produced largely in the studio. Hindi pa siya lumalabas. But for that particular episode na nag-away sila ng writer niya, um, nakuha ng production manager, si Julie Silueta, nakuha nila yung OB van ng KBS at that time. And they were going to shoot in the Aguinaldo house in Cavite. So sabi ni Julie, Armids, paano yan? Sabi niya, sayang naman yung ating nakuhang OB van, tapos maglo-location tayo. Sabi niya, wala tayong script, sabi ni Armida. And then Julie said, I know, sabi niya gano'n, you wanna try out, my friend? She's a new writer. She's in the News and Public Affairs Department. That was my first job kasi. Sabi ng Armida, okay, sabi niya gano'n, dalhin mo siya rito. Pag natapos siya yung script, bago ako umuwi ng 5 o'clock, tuloy ang
May
taping.
deadline. Oh, wow,
So that was
pressure.
about 11. So we had lunch at 12. Ang gusto niyang topic, kalayaan. Kasi Independence Day episode.
Okay.
Now, in 1975, pag ang nakausap mo, bagong graduate sa UP, at ang topic, kalayaan, syempre,
Ay.
masusulat mo yun. So, nasulat
Punong-puno.
ko. And then, yung magiging director ng episode, si Lupita,
Concho.
yeah.
Concho. Lupita Concho.
Aquino
Later on
Concho.
kasi Wahara.
Oo. So, I was so excited kasi iniisip ko, wow, yung una kong script sa Awitan Kita, produced by the sister of Juan Ponce Enrile, will be directed by the sister of Benigno Aquino.
Nino Aquino.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, Tony, Mark, I was so excited the day before the taping. Hindi ako nakatulog. Tapos dumating na ako, tapos sumakay na ako sa kotse. I was in the car with Armida, Lupita, and Julie. Natulog ako sa kotse. Hindi ko narinig yung kwentuhan nila hanggang makarating kami sa Cavite.
Okay.
But that was my first script for
Pero
Awitan Kita.
you met the deadline. You met the
Yeah,
deadline,
I met
of
the
course.
deadline. I got paid 500 pesos, which is a whole lot of money in those
Okay. That
days.
was big at the time. That was big
Oo
at the
naman,
time.
ang pamasahe, G's. Isang kaha ng sigarilyo, 2 piso. So, yun ang aking first.
So,
Aawitan Kita.
nakilala mo rin pala si Carlitos because of the mom, because of his mother.
I remember one of my
Much
first.
later yon.
Yeah. Nagkaroon kami ng meeting for future scripts because my mother-in-law, my future mother-in-law, hindi siya yung magte-taping na doon lang magpapagawa. She liked meeting well in advance, tapos mag-a-assign na ganitong mga episode. So I went to their house for a meeting. And then makita ko na hagdanan, may nagpe-piano. Yung pala ang future husband ko.
Oh. Okay, bago natin iwan yung aawitan kita, ha? Meron lang. Okay, with the kind permission of the late Mr. Mida Siguion-Reyna, Aliw Awards Foundation Incorporated shall launch a ZoomCon on August 20 entitled Aaliwin Kita. Yan. Ba, gandang concept siguro yun, no? That's Rebecca Shangkwan Chua-Unsu, who is this year's chairman of the Aliw Awards. Aliw Awards 2020, siya ang chairman ngayon. And then meron pa siya. So she's just using her husband's Facebook account. August 20 at 6 p.m. featuring the founder of Aliw, Miss Alice Reyes. Gandang concept yun, ha? Sige, mag-usap na lang po kayo later on. Okay, at pianista pala si Carlitos. Did you play professionally, Carlitos?
No, not professionally. I mean, I was nung mga, at that time kasi when there was a time kasi I grew up from a musical family. My mother ko was a singer. My lola was a singer, and also my aunt si Irma Potenciano.
Oh,
So,
yes.
they all started. They were all in classical, and then so
Tama.
ako naman, I was watching a lot of those opera rehearsals back in the 60s, talaga 19 kopong-kopong. And then, pero I also got interested in, I think when I was in the 60s, baka, yeah, I was really a kid. Nakita ko yung collection ng parents ko of classical music. Basically, not only the operas, pero the piano concertos and the, solo piano works. And then I started listening to them. And then, my parents asked me. I mean, basically, we were all the children. All of us were, we took piano lessons, and then I got into it. Nakaabot ako ng grade 6 level in
piano.
in sa piano, and then I stopped it when I got into high school. Pero nakilala ko one of my close friends that I developed a close friendship with a classmate of mine, si Rene Dalandan, who later went into classical piano music, no, and he's now in New York. He's been teaching there since 79. So ako ay, and parang my interest got revived again in playing the piano because of that. Tapos and then yung mga pinag-aaralan namin, we learned in English class about what Van Cliburn in Russia and all of that. So parang binalikan ko when I was in high school. I took 2 more years. Tapos, and then after that, 2 or 3 years, tapos, and then wala nang lessons, but I just continued, on and off, but on an amateur level. Pero I really still enjoy doing it.
Tony, can you read some of the messages I'm gonna pop up here? Huh?
Sure. Oh, wow. It's Juan Lorenzo, our marketing manager ng Tanghalang Pilipino. He says, hi Ninong at Ninang. Kasi po ikakasal na po yan si Enzo, siguro next year. And ako po yung sisi niya. Opo, so ininong at ninang niya yan si Miss Bibeth and Direk.
Oy, happy for you, Enzo. Kakasal na pala siya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then Christine Bactad. Hi, Direk Bibeth.
Hi, Christine.
Yeah, may Koche moments din po tayo, Direk Bibeth. Will always remember your love and kindness to me. Wow, Koche moments.
Ano yung mga production meeting na nangyayari sa kotse?
Hindi. Kasi galing kami sa Quezon City, tapos uuwi na siya, tapos ang gagawin niya siya, sakay siya sa akin, tapos bababa siya sa May Ayala, and all throughout, sa traffic ba naman, napakarami namin na pag-uusapan. Ang tawag namin doon, Koche moments.
Oo, masaya magkwentuhan sa traffic. Ayan, Miss Erlene Valenzuela. Hello, Direk Mark, and to your beautiful guest. Wow.
Hello din, Erlene. Okay. So, atras tayo konti. Okay? Mas nakilala, at least ako, mas nakilala kita, Bibeth, as a comedian. In fact, it was only much later on that I found out na writer ka pala. Okay? So, from a lot of people who grew up in my generation, baka yun ang unang tingin, paano ka naging artista at komedyante?
Okay, ganito yan. Ang nanay ko, Waray. Ang father ko, ang Ilonggo. So you had to be tough to survive being a Waray, and then you have to be cariñosa to survive being an Ilonggo. I come from, alam mo yun sa Facebook, yung mga questions, can you reveal your generation without saying how old you are? I would always say, I belong to the age of sitcom, radio sitcom. Doon ako nahasa. Lagi ako nakikinig. And then I also always just like to read, no? But in college kasi I was a writing major. I took up, hindi pa creative writing ang tawag dun sa course ko, imaginative writing, and then I minored in comparative literature.
UP yan, di ba?
Yes, in UP. I was first in Poli-Sci. Bumagsak ako sa Math 11, kaya ako napunta sa English. Kasi sa English, Math 1 lang eh. My dear Aunt Sally. Kaya, yun ang background ko. And then the theater work that I did. And then I didn't even know that to get to the College of Law, you had to pass the law aptitude exam. Para lang akong tanga, nagpunta lang ako sa College of Law. Sabi ko, when is the enrollment? Sabi ng kausap ko, what's your name? Sinabi ko yung pangalan ko. Tapos may tinitingnan siya listahan. Sabi ko, ano yan? Tapos sabi niya, ito yung listahan ng pumasa sa exam. May exam? So I promise, sabi ko, sige, never mind. Give me an idea kung kailan yung exam. I'll be back to take it. Hanap muna akong trabaho. So ang nangyari, nakahanap naman ako ng trabaho. I competed against also another good writer sa UP. But she had just gotten married si Kata de Jesus. And she had just had a baby. So parang sa akin napunta yung trabaho kasi mukhang handa ako matulog sa studio. Magawa lang yung mga kwan. And then at that period, kasi martial law you had to have a curfew pass to be able to go home. Nung bago pa ako trabaho, wala akong curfew pass. Ang mga show sa KBS nung araw, ang comedies, tinataping yun during the day. Sila Pugo, yung mga show nila, no?
Teka, baka hindi nila alam. KBS is a TV station. Teka, continue.
Thank you po. Ako pala. Ako pala agad.
Tapos,
Continue.
ang mga comedy shows, except for the show of Tito Dolphy, yung John and Marcia, gabi talaga tinitape yung mga 7, and then 11 tapos na. And then kanya-kanyang uwian na. At that time na may curfew. Ako, yung mga drama shows, Makulay na Daigdig ni Nora, yung show ni Tita Charita Solis, yung show ni Lino Brocan, gabi ang taping ng mga drama. Because wala akong tape, wala akong curfew pass. Umiikot lang ako sa mga studio, and then using what I learned about writing in college, I would get the TV scripts there, inuuwi ko, pinag-aaralan ko. At the same time, ang dami kong nagampan ng mga character roles sa TV dahil ito yung mga alam mo yung mga role ng doktora, alam ko kung paano yan. Yung lalabas ka ng operating room.
Example.
Akala ko
Walang lines yan, iiling ka lang.
iiling lang.
O kaya dadaan ka sa it's a boy, it's a girl. Kaya yung lalabas kang
Operation.
ipagdasal natin siya. Dasal mo lang ang dami yung mga ganyan-ganyan.
Nagawa na namin ang lahat.
Yeah, lahat. Ano ko na yan. Na-practice ko na yan. And then, those were the things that you did kasi you wanted to learn. And then you wanted to know more. And then also, at that time kasi, palaban ako talaga. Salbahe kong babae.
Teka, redefine.
Salbahe
Ano
ako.
sabihin sa salbahe?
Hindi ako umuurong sa away. At kahit lalaki ka, hindi kita urungan. Mamaya meron akong off color na ikukwento ko. After na lang kasi baka magalit yung asawa ko. Kaya But, I knew how to say no.
May singit, Tony.
Oo nga meron tayong singer dito, si Popper Bernadas. Ang sarap makinig, Ang ganda ni Tita Bibeth. Wow, shy yan. Actually, shy talaga siya. Shy talaga yan si Tita Bibeth. Dapat kasama pala yan sa intro ko kanina. No? Pinanood ko Nana Rosa at ang husay ni Tita Bibeth. Grabe. Na-cut short po ba yung Nana Rosa because of the pandemic?
Yeah. Na-cut short.
Okay.
And nakakaano yun si Popper. Oh my.
Mahirap ang
level sa UP.
So may singit-singit lang. Okay, back to Nana Rosa. Sige, tuloy tayo.
Naka-cut short ngayon ng pandemic. And then, may UP experience kasi as a theater actress. And I said this kasi yung last graduation ng UP College of Science, ako yung commencement speaker. And then, sinabi ko nga na ang duktong nun, my brother wanted to watch Nana Rosa. And so he promised me that he was going to watch March 22. The weekend of March 4 was our last showing. By March 19, my brother was already diagnosed with COVID. So, hindi niya napanood yung Nana Rosa.
That's actually
So,
one interesting story no na pag-usapan din po natin mamaya no. I'm sure many of you. Ako nga ngayon ko lang nalaman only today no nag-research ako, ginugol ko, Bibeth Orteza, yung mga news articles. Ngayon ko lang nalaman na na naapektuhan po ng COVID ang pamilya ni Bibeth. Her brother, who is a doctor, passed away because of that disease. No? Later on, when we talk about our coping with the COVID crisis, Bibeth, I hope you will not mind sharing a
no,
little bit
okay
of
lang.
that. No? Yung Nana Rosa, by the way, I saw it 3 times. I saw it with Peewee, with Upeng. And then, nung nalaman ko na you're playing it, nanood ako ulit the 3rd time. Yun.
Gulat ko nga sa loob-loob ko, baka pwede ka nang pwede ka nang pumalit sa isa sa mga artista kasi napanood mo lahat ng artista na lumabas.
Memorize.
Oo, di ba?
Since we're talking about the plays that you've done, is this one of the most meaningful for you? I guess, no? Kasi kanina sabi mo, you even wanted the role.
Yeah. Oo, the first time I watched Peewee sa Nana Rosa, last year, inis na inis ako. Talagang hinanap ko yung mga ibang taga-dula ang UP. Ba't di nakarating sa akin ito? Bakit hindi ako nakapag-audition? Wala nagsabi. But then again, kasabay din ng Silent Sky. So, hindi ko rin magagawa. And then at that time pala, sabi ni Rodi Vera, nung sinabi ko, bakit wala nagsabi? Sabi ni Rodi, wow! Sabi niya, sayang nag-back out si Sherry. Kasi si Sherry Lara, nakatira sa Republic of Parañaque.
Malayo.
Oo, malayo. So, she had to back out because ang sama ng traffic. So, si Upeng ang nakuha kasi lahat mga Quezon City girls. So, yun ang And then when they were going to show it again, and then they asked me, I said, yeah, sure, why not? Na-memorize ko pa.
Ito yung nabanggit ko, before we talk about the plays of Direk Carlitos, ito yung nabanggit ko na nagulat ako, na because malapit sa akin ng Tanghalang Ateneo, we had a very special guest actress in Dolorosa. How did you do this naman?
Jenny Hamora asked me. She said, Tita Bibeth, we have a play. And siyempre si Jenny kasi, red turnip yun Kasama nila yung pamangkin namin, si Chris Bidonco. So, pag meron silang project talaga, lahat ng plays ng red turnip pinapanood. And then she said, I have this material, ganito, ganyan. And then, dinescribe niya sa akin. Sabi ko, sure. And then, it was great working with students. I like working with students kasi you feel younger You feel younger at nakakaharutan mo sila. Kaya lang, sila kasi ang tawag ko sa sarili ko doon, ang inyong lingkod, basurera. Kasi I come in briefly in the first act and then the second act. And nandun ako talaga dun sa dulong-dulo na it's a huge chunk. But I'd get so nervous. So backstage, nag-iikot ako yung mga basurahan, tatapon ko, ako Miss Bibeth, wag na po, ako na yan.
You were cleaning up backstage?
Yeah. Para to settle my nerves.
Oh.
Nagtatapon ako
Pero
ng basura.
hindi naman dahil OC ka about cleanliness na ayaw mo na makalat, ayaw
Hindi,
mo na...
also, but ganyan. At saka, kasi, I like going through my lines when I'm also moving. Kasi, as a matter of fact, yung ginagawa ko, I don't know if you do this, Tony, when I'm memorizing lines for a play, I will have 2 versions of the script in my computer. Yung original, nandyan, at saka isang version na binubura ko lahat ng lines ko. So, I read the script and then I would just tina-type in ko yung aking dialogue, ganyan. Kasi I realized na at least it works for me. And when I write it down, it's easier for me to remember.
Yes, actually.
It's very similar to a technique I used to do when I was in college, and I had to, because I was also a radio talent at the time. So I was doing radio, I was studying in school, and yet may mga play ako. One technique na kaya ko overnight to memorize an entire play, cassette pa nun i-record ko yung mga linya na hindi ako. yung mga kausap ko. And then mag-iiwan ako ng gap to approximate my lines. Of course, I say it in my mind. So, I play the recorder and sometimes I change voices pa. Kaya rin siguro ako naging radio talent eh. Dahil magaling ako magawa iba't ibang boses. I will play the recorder, sagutan kami. So, kahit wala kang co-actor, nagbabatuhan kayo.
Speaking of college, when Carlitos did, yung play niya, yung Doll's House Part 2, his high school, his grade school and high school friends watched. Okay. Tawanan sila ng paglabas. Nakita ako nila. Sabi nila sa akin, he's come a long way from Ibong Adarna.
Kasi Ibong Adarna.
Kasi sa sa college, in high school, isa ako doon sa dalawang masamang kapatid nung prinsipe and naging bato. And so, ganon. But, yeah.
And surprisingly, he won Best Actor for this. That was a big shock for a lot of people. Somebody na hindi naman maraming dula na ginagawa. All of a sudden, was this your first English play as an actor? Hindi naman, no?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, imagine mo. First play niya, tas nanalo po kagad siya na Best Actor. Best Male Lead in a Play. This is the only nice picture I found eh. Yung mga iba hindi kasi good resolution. Kaya yan ang picture ko sa Doll's House.
Itong play na to, this is Lucas Nat's Doll's House Part 2 and it was produced by Red Turnip. Tapos ang director, my niece, si Chris Villonco, and it starred Menchu Lochenko, Sheila Francisco, Rachel Coates, and then I played the husband. Alam mo, the playwright also was he's currently teaching sa din yan, NYU Tisch, din yan eh. Dramatic writing program. He's teaching there si Lucas Nat.
Anong Tisch? Teka lang. NYU is New York University. Ano yung Tisch?
Tisch is the art school of New York University. Yan yung Tisch School of the Arts. Nandun ang film, undergrad and graduate film. Graduate film is where I went to. And then nandun ang theater. And then there's a dramatic writing program. Nandun, most of the writers for theater at saka they learn that theater, screenwriting, TV, television writing. And then may cinema studies, and then there's I think I forget the others, may digital component then. But yeah, I mean, I had a great experience in doing that play yung sa Doll's House Part 2. And yung pag-usapan, nasabi kanina ni Bibeth about learning the lines. Ako, I had to takot talaga. My gosh, you're going up against these titans of Philippine theater. Menchu and Sheila.
Sheila was amazing.
And then Rachel Coates, also, I really loved listening to her scenes from backstage. It was really, sa akin, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the experience, but it was really tough to memorize the lines. I found it was easier to memorize the monologues than the short lines. The short lines, I had to memorize everything, including yung partner ko. Except the monologues nila. Syempre, I would memorize the last six lines of the monologue para at least kung mawala, at least may ka.
Sorry, Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
I just wanna share kasi ito si Direk Carlitos. Very, yung feel ko, teacher talaga siya kahit na nagde-direct siya. Kaya na-curious ako, how is he as an actor? Kasi pag makita mo yung script niya, Direct Mod, pag bago siya dumating sa rehearsal namin, napaka-dumi. Ang dami agad ng mga drawing ng blocking. As in, parang,
really?
Opo, the first play kasi that we
Mabusisi?
did is Midsummer. So, Shakespeare pa siya, tapos Tinyo pa siya. So, parang yung mga marks niya, meron siyang mga, tapos Coriolano din yung next namin, Shakespeare din. So, ang dami niyang mga English translation. Tapos, so, paano po kayo as an actor, Direk Carlitos, with A Doll's House? Ganun din po ba? Kasi sobrang busisi din po ba what you did?
Well, not as a director, pero I would put down the choices ng mga objectives, actions, yung mga intentions, break it down into the units. and then give myself at least 3 choices of intentions per unit. It's similar to my work as a director, pero I remember sa Doll's House, and then of course I had, when I was still in school, na nabasa ko I think some Ibsen, but not hindi yung Doll's House, which is one of his most popular ones. So I only got to read A Doll's House of Ibsen para lang may foundation lang ako. I got to read that only before for this production of Doll's House Part 2. And then the rest of it was really working with Chris as the director, and then with the cast, yung talagang what really helped me was playing off the cast, yung playing off. Basically, ang ka-eksena ko is Menchu. So it's really listening and playing off against her.
Para lang in case some people are not aware, yung Adults House Part 2 na ginawa ni Carlitos and Menchu is a supposedly continuation of that classic Adults House by Henrik Ibsen.
Yes.
Okay? And it took it off from where the other play left. But this time, this was written by an American. So parang, the challenge of actually continuing a classic, ang tapang ng writer na yun, just for that. So kung saan nag-walk out yung, ano pala ng lead? Nung nag-walk out yung lead, nag-walk out si Nora, doon natapos yung Adults House in its original form. They picked it up from there, jumping to how many years? May parang time lapse.
I think it's about at least 8 years. At least 8 years. Then
Parang
she comes
8 years
back.
na lapse. Yun. So, understanding that, mas ma-appreciate mo yung Adults House Part 2. Of course,
Pero it wasn't like you needed to know it. Pero
naman, hindi naman.
But it was standalone din. I mean, maraming information from the first play lumalabas yung exposition as the play goes on. So because they were throwing information and backstory at each other like ammunition.
Totoo naman.
Diba?
But it was one of the earliest, sa alam ko, it was one of the earliest plays on women empowerment.
Yung Ibsen, yes.
Yung Ibsen, I'm talking about the Ibsen. So parang, can you tell that story now where women are already empowered? Is it still relevant? So a part of me, I'm talking now as an audience, a part of me at first was not very interested. Kasi parang, Parang Adults House, imo-modernize ba nila in all that? So sabi, hindi daw, it's still period. Relevant pa ba ang women empowerment? So, kudos to what's her name? Chris also. She was able to bring out those concepts.
And what's interesting then kasi doon sa Doll's House Part 2, the new one, the sequel, is that actually yung women empowerment, okay, bumalik si Nora, and she still, you can still see na she's already freed herself during the 8 years para marami siyang ginawa on her own. She found herself, but she still had to come back and get to settle things para to get that total freedom, no? So, hindi pa rin siya totally free. That's why she had to come back and struggle with the husband. But the interesting thing is that the husband, who was really in power in that Ibsen one, dito parang he feels like, in a way, I felt like the husband, the Torvald, yung pakiramdam niya was he felt what Nora felt in the first play. Yung parang siya din parang disempowered because of the changing times. Kaya magandang
parang reversal.
Oo. But of course, hindi pa rin totally free yung wife, pero the husband feels it na rin now. Mas may empathy because of that.
Teka, gusto ko mamigay pa ng more books. Tapusin na natin to. Trivia question number 2. Pakibasa, Tony.
Yes, ito. What is the title of the 1991 award-winning film by Carlitos, Siguion-Reyna, based on Emily Brondt's Wuthering Heights? In the two leads. Nako.
So, what I'm looking for is title plus yung pangalan po, yung artista, hindi yung karakter. Pangalan po ng dalawang artista na gumanap. Okay? Pamagat ng pelikula at pangalan ng dalawang artista na gumanap.
Ganda nito.
Yes, okay? So, just type it po. At kung ang makakuha na to ay si Jefferson Escaros, all 3 books will be yours. Ang problema lang, paano ko papadala sa Taiwan. Okay. I wanna talk about this na. Okay? Ito yung kanina ko pa gustong pag-usapan. Kasi in my book, in my recent memories as a theater enthusiast, this is so powerful for me. Katsuri. At yung pong magandang babae na nakikita nyo sa gitna nung group picture na yon, si Tony po yon.
Nako. Alam mo ako yung bida, nakakatawa to.
Pero sobrang breakout role din to for Tony kasi parang well, to use Bibeth's term earlier, si Tony naging pokpok, grabe. Sobrang ginamit na po in the context po, hindi po malaswa yung salitang yon. Use in Okay. Direct Carlitos, bring us through your experience briefly about doing Katsuri. And also Bibeth as the writer.
Bibeth, baka gusto... Okay. Sino?
Bibeth muna magsimula. Si Bibeth
Okay,
muna magsimula. Si Bibeth po ang manunulat ng Katsuri.
Nung una, ito siya sa straight translation, no? But then, the area, the place where we wanted to set the place, the play in, ang daming mga ang daming mga nangyayari na ron. People were being, there were a lot of killings. Farmers were being killed. Yun ang backdrop nun. So, ang naging reality sa akin, ito ba gagawin kong based on the original material o talagang based lang at yung reality rito sa kasalukuyan nangyayari. Kasi nga, ang unang-una yung pinag-usapan namin, meron kaming mga advisor, no, na galing doon sa Bacolod, and pinag-usapan nga, bakit nga Katsuri? Katsuri it's not quite rodent. It's like, parang shrew, maliit siya na going in and out of the tubuhan. Parang hindi importante. Parang hindi kasali.
Okay.
Parang andun lang. Pero pinakikinabangan ng mga landlords. So, naging political yung backdrop because there were stories to be told about the interrelationships. And then, also in the writing, I was also, kasi nga familiar na ako dun sa mga talento na bumubuo ng TP sa Actors Company, dahil kahit hindi naman si Carlitos ang director, talagang suki kami ng TP at saka ng VLF na lagi kami nandun. So nakita mo talaga
designed, you also adjusted your writing based on the actors of Pangalan Pilipino?
Like I knew there were excellent other female actors doon bukod sa role ni Tony, no? And then they were not lesbians, but talagang may mga babae na sakada na nakatira doon sa kwartel, no? And yung movement ng mga nila Lorvie, mga ganon, nila Eunice na medyo masculine ang dating. Kasi I took that naman from the period when I was a young activist in UP. Tapos natutulog kayo sa HQ, sa kung saan-saang lugar kasi gumagawa kayo ng mga periodikit na yung mga trabahong aktivista. And our protection then as young female activists, we kind of moved medyo macho. Lalaban ka nga eh. Hindi ka papayag to be seen as a weak woman. So yung ganong klaseng mannerisms ng babae, yun ang inadapt ko doon sa mga women who were there. Kasi otherwise kung papayag lang sila, magagalaw-galaw lang sila doon. And you saw naman from the characterization of sila Carling doon sa loob ng cartel na they weren't going to take shit from men, no? So they were all equal. Parang yun equals. It was I like writing it kasi nakikita ko sila yung mga karakter. Kaya lang ang natawa lang ako kasi yung original name nung asawa ni Kulot, ni Curly, in the original material, she's just called Curly's wife.
His wife.
Walang pangalan. Walang pangalan. So, binigyan ko siya ng pangalan, Inday. Kasi Inday Ilonggo, talagang ang Inday, prinsesa yun eh. Prinsesa ng bahay. Bahay ng mayaman, may Inday. Bahay ng maliit, may Inday din. Yung ganyan. So,
meron pa nga skinny eh. Di ba? Si Slim. Meron pang
Si
Slim.
Yun ang naging si Payat.
Si JB.
Ngayon, alam naman ni JB na mahal ko siya. Hindi naman niya ipagtatampo ito. Subalit, nung mag-start na yung rehearsal, medyo ang aking kaibigang JB may kalusugan. Kaya nung unang script reading namin, wala si JB, hindi siya nakarating eh. So, sabi ko, ito ang mga gaganap sa mga roles na to, ina-announce ko bago mag-reading. JB Ibisate, Payat. Aba, nilaglag siya ng lahat ng mga kaibigan niya sa TV. They all chorus out. Payat. Kasi Lorvi, nagpunta kayo sa nag-immersion kayo
Tony,
sa Mindanao eh, di ba?
Yes,
Kaya there was a first group na nakatrabaho namin. So lahat sila gano'n, Payat. So yun si Slim.
I wish this will be shown again, no? I wish this will be shown again. Dapat pala after ako nakapanood ng play, gagawa na kagad ako ng episode na discussing it to also encourage people to watch. No?
Opo, maganda rin.
Katsuri pang isa sa dapat talagang ulitin. Dapat talaga. In my book.
Mauulit po yan. Mauulit po yan.
Sa akin, it was, ako enjoy ako sa experience kasi alam ko naman yung I mean, nabasa ko yung Of Mice and Men Steinbeck when I was in, ewan ko kung high school ba yun or college. And noon, I felt it was ang malakas sa akin noon is basically yung power of yung pangarap ng dalawang leads, no? Yung dreams nila versus the reality of their situation. Pero ngayon, nung nagawa na nga yung adaptation ni Bibeth, and the more I was reading the script and thinking about it, what spoke talagang loudest to me now was yung empathy, yung pakikipagkaibigan ng dalawang leads. At saka nung ibang sakada in that group, no, na nakaka-solidify din, nakakatulong talaga, they keep each other up. At importante din kasi yung sense ng empathy na yon para we can parang it's a weapon against yung disconnectedness ng mga tao in a place like that, which is basically a fascist microstate, di ba? So parang so parang it speaks loud yung yung pakikipag-isang dibdib nila sa isa. Kasi parang I think it's really relevant. It's happening not only sa let's say in a place like that, in a farm or sa isang plantation like doon sa Bacolod, pero anywhere in the country. Parang importante, lalo na nga, especially now na parang surreal na talaga yung mga nangyayari and talagang atomized na tayo, we're really splintered. Diba talagang polarized and talagang hiwa-hiwalay. So importante talaga yung empathy. And what was talaga ang daming I knew it was powerful and it was a strong project, pero talagang I did not anticipate the feedback like that. Na talagang people really, it consumed them. So ang feeling ko talagang it really touched a nerve. It really touched a nerve. Pero process-wise, during the rehearsals naman, what it was like for me, I really enjoyed it kasi I really enjoy working with the TP Actors Company. I mean, this is the third time, no? Third production. Pero kasi sila Tony, everybody kayo naman, di ba, sa actors sa AC. Continuous ang education. So so it's really exciting to work with a cast na ganon na one of the things I really appreciate is, let's say you work with a cast na okay, ito yung direction, ito yung ideas, no, ito yung mga intentions that I think, let's say sa reading you find that out, pero your cast, ideally talaga your cast brings something to the table. Hindi yung anong gagawin ko direct, ang hirap ng ganun, di ba?
Oo.
And of course, I'm prepared na I would prepare na I have all of those things nakasulat yan or maybe they're in my head. So I've done my homework, pero ideally I'd like to get what they also, what they have come up with. And then pero kung wala talaga, kung nahirapan, then I'll throw in my own stuff. But yeah, it was really a happy relationship sa akin yung rehearsal period na yon, because you really, it's a sense of collaboration talaga. So that's what I really like. It's a luxury talaga in theater, yung extended rehearsal period, which is it's hard to come by in film, no? Pero iba naman ang demands ng film. Pero so I always I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Yes. Alam niyo po ba, parang trivia lang with this Katsuri. It's been 9 years kasi since TP has been wanting to do this. Scholar pa si Marco Viana, 2010. So siya na ngayon si George, 'di ba? Umabot na din sa ganung point. Iba pa dapat yung gagawa ng mga roles. And then at that time, wala pang makakagawa talaga ng nog-nog. Si Ibes po yung gumawa. At wala pa talagang,
Perfect.
naging perfect din po yung timing for this ngayon. Kasi that time, wala pa rin po talaga magka-translate. And then, with the adaptation, dumating na rin nga po yung from the concept ni Miss Bibeth, ganyan, and Sir Carlitos na pag nag-direct siya, he knows what he wants. So, very direct lahat nung nangyari with the 2019 run. And then, with the company nga, as Sir Carlitos was saying, kasi magkakakilala na kami, Direct Mark magkakasama na kami lagi, araw-araw. So ngayon na tuwing may ilalagay kami, kailangan, pag may ilalagay kami sa table ni Sir Carlitos sa rehearsal room, kailangan bago din for us, sa aming actors company, na hindi pa namin nagawa sa iba naming production. So, since nga third na namin to with Sir Carlitos, at yung unang dalawa namin ay Shakespeare, very fresh to sa amin. Kasi nga, yun nga, the classic conversational play lang din. So, refreshing tong piyesa na ito sa amin. And then, with the advocacy nga rin. And then, actually, direct nanonood ng live ngayon si MJ Apatan from Escalante. And she's one of the persons na talagang parang dramaturg of some sorts. Kasi nagkwento siya sa amin ng mga experiences doon talaga sa Escalante. Opo, na parang...
Wait. Paki-clarify, Escalante is in Bacolod?
Bacolod.
No. It's a little closer na. Sa Escalante, kalahating Bisaya na yun at kalahating yung mga taong nakatira doon. It's the same site of the Escalante massacre.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Ayun, so tumulong po talaga sila sa amin to mapunta. Kasi dapat po mag-immerse po kami, no, Miss Bibeth. But
yes, correct. Tayo, pupunta tayo doon dapat.
Yes, dapat po. But Miss Bibeth, you want to share, this is really for Toto Patigas? Opo.
He was a counselor. Ganito yan yung period ng writing, the first time nung iniisip ko na, November of 2018, binabalangkas ko na. Then I got news na nabaril si Attorney Ben Ramos. Abogado ng abogado ng Ramos nga ba apelyido ni Attorney Ben? Basta he was a human rights lawyer.
Okay.
Nabaril siya November.
He was he was lawyering for the farmers?
For the farmers. Tapos, next year, around April, pinag-usapan kasi namin nila MJ at saka ni yung mga tao doon. Sino bang gagamitin nating pangalan? Are we going to really use George and Lenny? Kasi nabaril naman yung counselor na yon. Siya yung dapat mag-guide sa amin sa immersion, si Toto Patigas. Nabaril siya sa harap ng isang eskwelahan, sa harap ng mga estudyante. And actually, it was that incident that made TP have second thoughts about sending the actors sa immersion kasi kung ganun kadelikado kung paano yung
Yes.
security. But then, that's why, nung pinalitan na yung pangalan ng kapartner ni, imbis na George and Lenny, the original names, naging George and Toto.
I see.
Naging George and Toto. Kasi Toto,
Yung character
like
ni
Inday,
Jonathan.
ni Tad. Kasi, ang like sa babae, Inday, yung kay Tony, yung Toto, in every household, may that's a pet name for the prince of the household. Regardless of stature, of economic stature, may Toto talaga. Parang senyorito, parang hindi, but not lang senyorito. Kasi hanggang, basta may Toto. And Tad proved to be a lovable Toto. So, yun ang mga ano. Kaya yung huling-huling frame doon sa wall, makikita mo, pagkilala yun at pagpupugay kay Toto Patigas.
I see. So, even yung prologue mo, dinagdag mo na lang yun, no?
Yan, oo.
Who is this woman actress?
Doray.
Si Doray.
Talagang Bisaya si Doray. Talagang Ilonggo si Doray. So, she could
that was brilliant. Brilliant yung choice mo na linagay mo sa isang sugar farm na mga sagada. So, nabigyan ng importansya yung plight nila. Something like, kasi minsan pag taga Manila ka, parang malayong problema yon, hindi mo na kailangan pakialaman.
Ang ginawa ko doon, na pinag-usapan din namin ni Carlitos, was because I wanted to show na itong sistema ng pang-aapi sa maliliit na tao sa mga farms, it doesn't just happen in the sugar farms in Bacolod. It's all over. That's why the first part na pinanggalingan ni George at ni Toto was Hacienda Luisita.
Oo nga. I got that reference also.
At saka I think it is also important na, well, one of the things that the adaptation added also was yung periphery, yung with the AJ case, with the militarization do sa countryside. It's not directly causing things to happen doon sa main story. Pero later on, as it turns out, you get the sense na yung the boss of the hacienda. Parang it's because siya rin yung may agency for making those things happen. So parang you can see a connection between the system of yung employer and then the militarization, may connection yon. So that was really relevant. One of my director friends who saw it, sitting behind me nung one of the shows, nung intermission, nung pag ilaw nung sa intermission, sabi niya, nakakatakot. Sabi niya, it's so parang the tension and the foreboding kasi nga of that. I think that added layer of the militarization. Aside from the production elements like the music and all and the performances. And I was really happy with the performances of cast. Well, of course, AC at saka yung guest actors, and of course yung leads sila Tad, Jonathan Tadiwan as
amazing. Jonathan and Marco were amazing.
George, yeah.
So I appreciated the way that even the political commentaries were subtle. Hindi siya hard sell na in your face. I loved it. Maiintindihan mo if you're a thinking actor. If you don't want to make that connection, it's just a nice tension-filled storyline. But if you are an insightful actor, you will be able to understand the connection to modern-day Philippines, to what's happening even now. Ang ganda. It was just brilliant. No? Sayang nga lang po na right now hindi siya papalabas, pero be sure that when we talk about it again, when they show it again, we will talk about it, and I'll try to do whatever I can to help you guys promote it.
But there's one Mark,
go
there's one material, a one-act play na I want to write set in Escalante. Siguro it will come out as a one-woman play, one woman act. It's about somebody who was there in the Escalante massacre but chose to forget it. And then naging DH sa Singapore. Okay. And then bumalik siya doon, and then kasi feeling niya, and then tumatawag yung boss niya sa Singapore interact na interact. And then sabi niya, auntie, yun ang ano. Yes, I'm going back, auntie, I'm going back. And then as she tries to forget, nagyayabang-yabang siya sa Escalante. And then it's like the ghosts come in. And then, because she was there in the massacre, and her brother died in her arms. Nabaril yung kapatid niya at na ganyan. And then habang napupuno yun, and then she realizes she cannot go back to Singapore because she has to do her part as a Filipino. And then the phone rings again, and then she says, no, auntie, I'm not going back to Singapore. I am a Filipino. I'm staying here in Escalante. I want to write that.
Original or adaptation?
Original.
Bibeth?
No, original.
Wow. For our viewers out there, I hope you realize how privileged we are that we're getting a peek at the brilliant, the genius of Bibeth Orteza. You know what I'm saying? No, the fact that she is sharing these ideas to us. Parang, kumbaga parang pinapasilip po tayo sa proseso na tumatakbo sa utak niya. Pagka lumabas na po ito, you can have the bragging rights and say na, oh, I knew about that. Long before it was
Narinig ko
produced,
na yan.
narinig ko na yan. Okay, and you can have those bragging rights, no? Thank you, Bibeth, no? Yeah, go. We need more materials like that. We need more socially relevant, socially aware materials like that, no? Maybe, wait, is there another here production that I want to talk about? Yes, one more. Merong isa dito pa na gusto ko lang pag-usapan. Ito naman bilang aktor, si Carlitos. Hindi bilang direktor, kundi bilang aktor sa... Yun.
Okay.
Alam mo,
Sabi na nga, tatawa kayo eh.
pero nakita ko yung scene na yan playing on TV for the first time. Alam mo, tawan-tawa ako. Kasi si Carlitos hindi nagsusuot ng alahas. Never. Wedding ring nga lang ang sinusuot niyan. Pero kaya nung nakita ko yun, tawa ako ng tawa. Talagang tawan-tawa ako kasi hindi ko inakalang makita ko ang asawa ko na nagsuot ng ganyan. Sing-sing.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
Well, kailan ba? Probinsyano, I think it was a party ng isang...
Birthday ni Susan Roses, Manang
Birthday
Inday.
ni Susan Roses. We were in the party. Tapos sino bang, I think, God, yung I think it was Coco, yata, Trinidad.
Ako, Coco Trinidad. You're betraying your age.
Not Martin.
Coco Martin.
Coco Martin.
Uy, wala na si Coco Trinidad.
Sorry,
Coco Trinidad.
Coco Trinidad.
Patay pa ni Noel Trinidad. Lolo ni Joel Trinidad.
Matagal nang namaalam
I met
yun.
Coco Martin there. Tapos, I think, and then before that kasi, parang that's where we met. Before that kasi, the people behind the show had already, parang, I think, isa sa kanila yata, di ba, Bibeth, tama ba ako? Si Ruel Bayani, Doll's House?
Deo Endrenal. Si Ruel Bayani napanood niya rin.
Okay. So nakapag-usap na rin kami or with Bibeth, and then it's parang they were interested, parang they wanted to find out if I'd be interested. And I really wanted to do it. And sa probinsyana. And then nakilala ko si Coco doon, we met and we had a few words, a chat there do sa party ni Susan Roses. And then, about a few weeks after that, I was called not to shoot. So I really enjoyed it. Pero talagang nanibago ko. Kasi alam ko naman din sa di ba, TVN, pero nanibago ko because it's not like let's say sa theater or where you have a lead time, di ba, to rehearse. Ito talaga yung get the script 2 days before. Okay, tapos and then 5 eksena. Panic. So, pero after a while, I got into it. Pero nahirapan ako nung umpisa. Talagang hiyang-hiya ako because I would, I couldn't memorize fast enough. Pero eventually, medyo I got the hang of it. But it was fun. And magaling. And I also really enjoyed working with LT, si Lorna Tolentino, in our scenes together. Marami akong scenes with her. And then later on, si Romnick, yeah. So it was it was fun yeah, I mean, enjoy ako. I really, I really had I really had a good time there. And
Mm-mm.
kaya nga, so I'm really, I think it's, I wish talaga makabalik to normal ang ABS sa
Media, yes.
ABS-CBN in
I agree. I
broadcasting.
agree. Ang
Really,
isang,
it's really
ang
a great loss and a great disservice to the country na
I agree.
pinatigil lang yan on really the flimsiest grounds.
Tama. And a good development for the past several years is getting this good theater people. Kasi alam nila kapag galing teatro, maasahan mo yan. Bigyan mo ng character role, maliit man o malaki, pag taga-teatro, gagampanan nila ng buong husay. So, and that became the reputation of theater people. So, because I work in both, I do theater, then I also do TV once in a while. Yun ang reputasyon talaga. Kumuha tayo taga-teatro, kahit yung ang sinasabi ni Bibeth na kahit doktora lang, na kailangan mukha pa lang makita na namatay, even before sabihin niyang ikinalulungkot ko, alam na ng viewers,
That's it.
taga-teatro lang ang makakagawa noon. You know what I'm saying? So, totoo po, malaking pagpapala because as you know, people are in theater not for the money. Although you can, probably do decent living out of it, but people are into theater not for the money. And the TV projects and film projects for theater people are an additional blessing, di ba? Hindi po namin pinaglalaban ang nangyari sa ABS-CBN because of our benefit. Please do not get us wrong. Although that's not the topic po. Sorry, nag-off topic ako. Pero wag po ninyo sanang isipin na kaming mga alagad ng sining ay pinaglalaban yon dahil kami ay may pakinabang. Hindi po. Totoo na marami sa amin ay nawalan ng trabaho sa mga kaganapang yon. But the issues are way more than us. More than each individual. Nakakaawa, of course, yung mga nawalan ng trabaho. But the issues are much bigger than that. No? Sana lang po, bago magbatikos, alamin nyo yung mga issues mabuti. No? Yun lang po ang appeal ko. No? Although, hindi yun ang topic natin. Okay. May mga reaction. Thank you for inviting us to Sikatsuri. We all loved it.
That's my cousin.
Tega.
That's my cousin. She's based in California.
Tapos, when I'm talking about the brilliant mind of Bibeth, may nag-agree sa akin. So, hindi yan pambabola.
Writer Dolorosa, right?
Ang problema ko naman, labo ko ni Peter eh.
Yun. Tapos sabi ni Gigil, I realize this is a great privilege right now.
That's my fraternity brother.
So are you saying na nag-agree sila sa akin dahil mga kaibigan mo sila?
Kaya nga, kailangan they have to say more. Gigil is
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Very powerful play. Thank you, no? At yes, ito, sabi niya, sana may rerun at sana nandito daw siya sa Pilipinas. Okay. And speaking of Jeff, okay, meron ng maraming sumagot doon sa pelikula ni Direk Carlos na itinanong ko kanina. Okay. Ang ating trivia question kanina ay ano yung award-winning film ni Direk Carlos na, teka lang, hindi ko pala natanggalin comments, na based on Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. At ang sagot ay Hihintayin Kita sa Langit. Yes, starring Don Zulueta and Richard Gomez. Okay. Pero, teka, ba't hindi ko matanggal? Yan. Okay, ang una pong nakasagot ay si Rebecca Chua. Pero, wrong spelling.
Ay, sayang.
Ang stricto.
Hindi. Itong una niyang sagot. Hinayin kita sa langit. Ang pangalawang sumagot ay si Jefferson Escaros na tama ang spelling. At binigay yung dalawang hinihingi ko na pangalan. Si Rebecca Chua Unsu using John Chua, walang pangalan ng artista. So, sorry, Becca, Jefferson wins all 3 books.
Grabe.
Hey.
Okay. Bakit iconic sobra ito? Kasi talagang, wow, I did not even know, ang alam lang namin, bata pa ako nito, siguro I was college, and then ang alam lang namin, uy, may anak si Armida, na isang batang film graduate from abroad, na ang galing-galing daw. Ayan, gumawa siya ng parang napaka Hollywood quality movie. Everybody should see it. Yun yung hihintayin kita sa langit. So at that time, you know, nag-iingay ang pangalan mo bilang isang batang-batang direktor. Can you just, although napakatagal na to, Direk Carlitos, give us a bit of a background?
On hihintayin kita sa langit.
Yes.
Well, kasi second film ko yan. Ang first film ko was Mrs. Mo, Mrs. Ko. That was 1987. Si Bibeth wrote the script also of Mrs. Mo. We shot it in 87, napalabas ng 88. And then, it did okay. It was parang two couples na nag-exchange partners because there were two unhappy couples and then nag-exchange partners sila. And then we were thinking after that, it took me about, another 3 years. And then we decided to we were looking for a project. Why don't we do an adaptation? What we were saying. Gawa tayo ng, hindi naman adaptation automatically yung brief. It was just it was on the table. Sige, let's say, we can do original or adaptation. So why don't we do, ako nabanggit ko yung Wuthering Heights. Because I remember that novel and talagang I remember the effect it had on me. Talagang ang lakas lang talaga ng it was just the breadth of it and the scope of it and the sheer scope of it and the sweep of it talagang I really felt strongly for it. So and then so yeah, she agreed also, and then so we worked on it. Si Raquel Villavicencio wrote the screenplay, and then and then ang imbes na the Moors, the Yorkshire Moors, we decided do it sa we'll shoot it in Batanes, and then we have parang kasi one of the main characters in Wuthering Heights yung nature, yung forces of nature. So you
But you also shot it in Villa Escudero.
Partly. The beginning, I think, the beginning of it was in yung the death of the father. The beginning and then the ending. The another funeral in the ending. Tapos, but most of it was shot in Novaliches actually. The two major houses, yung bahay nila Richard and Don, yung Wuthering Heights, and then yun yung parang hindi sila gaanong karangya. And then yung Rich House dun din yung kila Eric and Jackie Lu Blanco, Eric Quezon and Jackie Lu Blanco. Also another house naman there in Novaliches. And then to tie the two together, yung pag-travel from one to the other house, all of that was in Batanes.
Which is my favorite place.
So
may mga relatives kami sa Batanes, and Batanes is
beautiful place.
My favorite place in the Philippines.
And then, when we were, of course, yung finale, yung final, nung nagkasakit si Don, and then si Richard had to go there, and that whole scene, ang ending nun, kasi, di ba, she was sick and all, tapos, and then dadalhin ni Richard siya and take her to the balcony and see kung saan yung the broad scope of Batanes, kung saan doon tayo naglalaro, doon sa bundok na yun, ganyan-ganyan. So, we had to do the interior shots were all done in Novaliches. And then yung pagpunta sa balcony, shooting out, and then they walk into frame and go out there to the sea. We had to shoot that in Batanes. Obviously, wala pang CGI noon.
Wala pang CGI noon.
We had to fake we had to build that balcony in Batanes.
Yeah.
interior shooting out. We had to build a parang point of view from inside the room shooting out. So
Galing.
we built it, and then we had to cover the whole thing with black backing para syempre dapat dark ang loob where the camera is and then bright sa labas. And then si Don and Richard would go out there and parang karga-karga niya, tumitingin sila doon sa broad, all the waves crashing out there. So the thing is, so daya, no? And then, nung lumabas na yung movie, I remember, that movie sparked a lot of interest, tourism to Batanes. It picked up the tourism in Batanes.
Yeah.
And so, ang dami nagpunta doon because of the film. And then, maraming tourists, nung bumalik kami doon, sabi ng mga taga Batanes, marami daw tourists, hinahanap kung saan yung bahay na hihintayin kita sa langit doon.
Kasi dinaya yun.
Overlooking the sea. Sabi na, hindi, wala yung doon. So that was the Maliches.
Imagine.
Before the CGI period.
That's right. Ngayon, madali nang dayain.
Pero for me, it was really a special project for me. Kasi I really got to work with a really good cast. Richard, Don, Jackie Lou, and Eric. And I really love the story, and actually I was approached later on, years later, to do a remake. About siguro mga 15 to 20 years later to do a remake. This is
okay.
I can't remake it. Wala na ako doon. I mean, if I can remake it, but it's not going to, because they wanted it to be exactly hihintayin kita sa langit. I can't with the younger cast. Sabi ko, it will not be the same flavor. I mean, I can remake it, pero iba na yung tingin ko at that issue, that relationship, that world, 15, 20 years later, it probably will be more mas a little more ewan ko, more baka may irony, may cynicism or whatever. I mean, it's a different, I could still love to do it, pero iba na yung tono. It won't be that, that
innocent. Is that a good description of it? That
raw, parang that
it's the rawness of the innocence.
Passion about everything else, and I
so
don't
beautiful.
If I revisited it, it won't be the same. I'd still have to do it, but with a different, with a parang looking. It's a different take. It's a different lens. Para it's a different film.
At ang good news po, and correct me if I'm wrong, merong restored version na ang hihintayin kita sa langit.
Yes.
One of the projects ng ABS-CBN na hanga ako is the ABS-CBN Film Restoration Project. Of course, now we don't know what's gonna happen to that. Pero isang malakas na advokasya nila ay yung mga lumang pelikula na talaga namang dapat, and I'm not talking about even yung sobrang luma, even the iconic films such as Baguettes, yung mga ganyan, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, they want to restore it to its best form, best format, and Hintayin Kita sa Langit is one of them. I don't know if it is how it is available, but sana malaman natin, no?
I think available
you can buy,
iTunes.
You can rent it. You can rent it in iTunes or buy it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So yung po mga nagtatanong, ha?
Yeah.
Go. Go. You can and support po natin.
I remember yung sa yung program ng ABS na yan, restoring of films. Si ano yan, it's led by Leo Katigbak. And so Reyna Films and ABS got together to because they were interested in restoring the Reyna Films projects. So so about 7 of our films have been restored. I think yung 7th, the last one is inago mo last sa akin. And patapos na rin yun because inabot ng COVID yun eh. But that's been regraded and all. Pero alam mo, maganda talaga sa restoration. Well, of course, it's a great project. That's one of the community services ng ABS, which really should continue. Yung the great thing with yung sa glad talaga my mother really had the foresight with the films, Reyna Films, kasi all of those negative materials, they were all 24/7 air conditioner, the humidifier, and they're all in good shape. And so yung most of them, there are 2 that are not in good shape. Pero yung Hihintayin Kita sa Langit, then when we restored it, all of them were restored from negatives.
Wow.
All six of them from master negatives, and their
Oo.
sound is good. So that nung pinalabas yung restored version ng Hintayin Kita sa Langit, a lot of people are commenting, parang this was like it was shot yesterday.
Wow,
Kasi
no?
and it was in
Galing.
35 millimeter film, hindi na ganun yung texture, yung quality nung image. It's really much it's really more talagang medyo mas three-dimensional kaysa sa sa digital uh,
Oo.
film. Although
Oo.
digital film keeps getting better and better, pero that was
That's true.
35.
That's true. That's true.
So we're
And
really
I
happy.
think we should continue to do that. Alam ko na, Bibeth, sa iWant pala yun. Pwede yata siyang i-rent sa iWant, hindi iTunes.
No.
iTunes.
May iTunes
Ay,
din.
no kidding.
Baka
Yeah.
meron din sa I Want. Ewan ko, I'm
Oh,
not
kasi
sure.
iWant is like the ABS-CBN platform also, di ba?
No,
For,
but some of the films of ABS restored nandun din sa
tama.
sa
Okay,
iTunes.
so i-research nyo na lang po ha. Basta kung may oras po kayo, supportahan ninyo yung mga magagandang pelikulang ganon. It's almost 2 hours, no? Ang dami pa natin pag-usapan. Okay lang ba tayo mag-part 2, Bibeth?
Okay lang.
maybe a few weeks for now. Yes,
Oo nga eh.
tama. We wanna give room, make way for the questions from our viewers, no? So just
Sige.
keep it coming in. Mukhang this is a good time for you to join us. This one is from Peter. Tony, pakibasa.
Ayun, sorry I came this late, past midnight na sa inyo ha, oo nga po. So apologies if this has been asked already, hindi pa naman po. For the brilliant couple, what draws each of you to directing or writing a screenplay and a stage play? Is the attraction different from each of the genres or is there no difference at all? Another way to pose this, what makes doing one genre more attractive to you over the other genre? Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it there for a while. Who wants to answer it first?
Ako,
Kasi ako, sige,
sige,
muna ka na.
ikaw muna.
Kasi ako, it's not really the genre. It's the story that I want to tell. Yun muna ang una kong iisipin. And then, kung saan genre papasok. Well, of course, I think in a Bibeth Orteza script, there will always be something na matatawa ka because that's me. But before I go into the genre, I'd think of the story first. And then saka ko ihahanap yung genre kung saan babagay doon sa story na gusto kong ikwento.
And besides, if I may, maraming multiple genre films na ngayon. Diba? Like, Parasite, you wouldn't really know, is Parasite una parang comedy, tapos naging drama, ngayon naging thriller, ano to, horror na? We break genres nowadays, hindi katulad dati na nakakahon. Diba? Kaya tama yung sabi ni Bibeth na hindi genre ang unahin mo. Right? Yeah. Direct Carlitos?
Sa akin naman, I used to be more, I guess, sabi doon, parang more focused, doing the genre. I mean, kung ano man yung whatever it was. Pero as time has gone on, parang, and then I started really, but even earlier on, I mean, I really like, let's say, drama, pero kailangan meron pa ring, you look for the, di ba, sabi nga, you look for the pain in comedy, you look for the humor in drama. So meron kang para maramdaman mo yung, kung tragedy man yun, mas mararamdaman mo yun kung may comic relief, kung, yung contrast, it's a contrast that counts. So sa akin, but lately, especially as time has gone on, I really like to do genre mashups, yung halo-halo. You can't quite tell what it is. If it's, if it is drama, okay, but there's really some, farcical or hilarious moments there. Okay, some absurd moments. Whether it's in a screenplay or in a play for theater, I really get drawn to that. Kasi parang it's really closer to everyday experience. No, it's not so disciplined na parang something academic na this is the form. No, it's something closer, mas open siya. So I get attracted to that. Pero also the other thing I look for is of course some classic dramatic virtues like conflict, and tension. It may not be extremely high level conflict, it could be low level tension, pero dapat I would imagine I really look for that in every scene, and also yung structure, that the discipline also in the structure, because the structure really, it's really important to the structure and the tone of it. But the structure. Dapat I really like the script na pagdating, merong, you can feel the organization already of it. Where is, the arc of it, yung arco nung kwento. Why is this story being told? And I kind of see a lot of clues to that doon sa structure. Control of structure and control of tone.
Tama yung sabi ni Direk Carlitos na ang tunay na buhay naman hindi nakakulong sa genre eh. Pero para lang sagutin yung tanong ni Peter, no? Are you more attracted to a particular genre? So maybe to revise your question, Peter, if you don't mind. Even Tony, is there a particular genre you are more interested to do? As an actress, Direk as a director, Bibeth as a writer. Ikahon muna natin. Pero anong mas interesado kayo? Yun siguro ang gusto niya malaman. So when you say genres in its traditional form, what? Comedy, drama, horror, action, or epic, war? Meron bang something na mas interesado ka?
Ako, I think sa akin it's really basic. I get drawn to family relations, family dramas like that.
Okay.
But it's really, it depends kasi sometimes that can explode into something more socially engaged, or
Tama.
so or mga, I'm pretty open to but basically
Okay.
like I said, the mashup is good. Pero family dramas, I looking back, marami akong ginawa na na family based, which I think is kasi I can relate. I really
Can we ask Tony? Ikaw, Tony, may preference ka as an actress?
As an actress, siguro challenging po sa akin ng comedy. Oo, as in iba siyang dugo sa akin. Parang kailangan siyang ilagay. Ganyan po. Yes po. And then
sorry.
Yes,
Sige, go ahead, Tony.
And pero mostly trained kasi kami sa TP with straight plays na mga drama eh. Oo. So nung nag-comedy kami kunyari for Juan Tamad, which is recently lang pinalabas, diba, sa CCP, and sa Lukot-Lukot Bilog-Bilog, talagang kailangan namin mag-train kasi niloloko kami ni Tatang lagi, and alam nila Miss Bibeth yan and Sir Carlitos na mga dramatic actors, mga ganyan lang yung alam namin sa buhay. So pag nagko-comedy kami, medyo ibang dugo siya sa amin. Kaya ayun. Challenge
In case hindi po ninyo alam, mas mahirap magpatawa.
Totoo.
Okay. Kung ikakahon mo na comedy is pagpapatawa at drama is pagpapaiyak, although it's much more than that, ha?
Yes.
I know a lot of theater people would hate me by putting these stereotypes here. Pero yung akala nila na ang dali magpatawa, pero ang hirap magpaiyak, baliktad po. Bibeth, may preference ka? Para sagutin natin yung... Yes.
Comedy na magpapaisip.
Ang ganda nun. So, hindi mababaw, hindi ka babawan.
One of the things that I really enjoyed writing for TV, because I wrote it by myself. Wala ibang co-writer, was Okay Cafe Rico. I wrote that for 10 years. And then most of the Enteng Cabizote series, I wrote that also. Yung yung sa one of my favorite episodes dati sa Okay Cafe Rico. Kasi hinahanap ko noon yung telephone number sa bahay nila Pepe Jokno. Kasi I wanted to talk to his daughter, who was a friend of mine, si Cookie. Hindi ko mahanap yung telephone number. So tumawag ako sa Department of Justice. Hinahanap ko kung sabi niya, meron pa kayong telephone number sa bahay ni Pepe Jokno? Sino po yun? Sabi ng telephone operator. Sabi ko, dating Secretary of Justice. Dating Secretary of Justice po yun? Sabi ko, nanakulong, ganyan, decide ko na mo. I really got so upset. So, sinabi ko kay Vic, Vic, gagawa ako ng episode about Pepe Jokno. Sino si Pepe Jokno? So nakakagawa kami ng mga ganong episodes doon sa Okay Ka Fairy ko. So, and then in that show also gumawa kami ng sarili naming mythology na halimbawa kahit makapangyarihan si Ina Magenta sa Encantasia, hindi siya pwedeng bumuhay ng patay. Pag nagsinungaling ang Reyna, she will lose her powers for a day and she will have to transfer it to an innocent para ma-purify yung power at bumalik. Yun, I had great fun there because I relied on most of my background in classical literature. Yun yung mga elements na nilagay namin doon. And my producers, si Vic Soto at saka si Tony Tuviera, they allowed me to get into that. Kasi para sa akin talaga ang gustong-gusto kong talagang isipin na site yung itsura ng isang clown payaso na lumuluha. Yun ang pinaka-dramatic sa akin. Although, meron kaming episode, nanood kami ni Carlitos ng opera. Ako natuto ako magmahal ng opera dahil si Carlitos mahilig manood ng opera. Pero excited ako kasi yun yung first time na papanoorin ko si Pavarotti.
Okay.
Sa Pagliacci. Lumalabas pa lang siya. Naiiyak na ako. Gumagano na ako. Bumulong sa akin si Carlitos. Mamaya ko na umiyak. Antayin mo munang mangyari yung storya.
This was in Italy?
No, in New York.
In New York.
Metropolitan.
Okay. Konting background there. Nung kasi, nung medyo, kasi he was studying film and then I was there on some sort of political exile. And then medyo nilalike na namin yung isa't isa. Pero gusto niya talagang malaman muna kung makakahiligan ko man lang ba yung kanyang sa opera. Dahil hindi ako musical talaga. I can't sing, I can't dance. Okay? Ang kanyang tita Irma, biglang pupunta sa West Coast, nag-iwan ng 2 tickets ng opera, full staff kay Carlitos. Niyaya niya ako. Ako kasi, babaeng mahirap na galing ng Santol at Kamuning, okay? Pupunta ako dun sa manunood ako ng my first opera, bumili ako ng fall skirt at saka fall sweater. Pagdating ko sa loob ng Met, yung binili kong damit, kakulay ng carpet at ng upuan. Yung akin namang date, yung intermission, nung time na yun, pwede pong manigarilyo sa lobby pag intermission, naninigarilyo pa yung mga tao.
Okay.
Yung date ko naman, napaka-polite, nakaupo ako sa hagdan kasi kumuha siya ng wine para sa amin. Ang sabi lang sa akin nung ka-date ko, "Oh, I almost didn't see you." Kasi nakaupo ako dun sa carpet, nakakulay ng damit ko. So,
Maroon siguro yan.
Hindi,
Ito sa dark red, Yeah, red.
Dark red.
Burnt orange. Parang ganyan.
Okay.
Pero yung sa I remember yung genre lang, yung comedies that really two of my favorite directors din talaga were writers and directors of really acid comedies. Si Billy Wilder.
Okay.
Did mga The Apartment, Some Like It Hot, yung a lot of the Jack Lemmon films, pero Some Like It Hot is a classic.
Define acid. What do you mean by acid comedy?
Bitter comedy.
Bitter? Okay.
Nakakatawa pero talagang masakit.
Mag-iisip ka.
And then kasi si Billy Wilder, marami siyang themes on prostitution. Basically hindi not necessarily prostitutes na not necessarily the literal prostitution. Pero let's say yung corruption in the business world. Like The Apartment is about the corruption and yung parang the way the superiors take the women for granted and ganyan. And a lot of corruption going on. Pero funny. nakakatawa because of talaga na-expose talaga yung mga nangyayari doon, yung the hypocrisy of that word. Ganon din si Preston Sturges, who was an earlier director. He directed about in the 40s. Yung mga The Lady Eve and Sullivan's Travels was a classic. Pero I think their drama, I think one of the things na challenge din sa comedy is yung no, sa akin tingin ko talaga there's not really that big a difference between yung so-called drama and so-called comedy kasi pareho din yung the desperation of getting what you want, yung the tension and the conflict, pareho din. It's just na you know, like yung ginawa natin, 'di ba, Tony, yung sa Pangarap, yung Midsummer Night's Dream. And I remember talagang it's really important na yung what I felt really strongly na what drives the comedy, yung lovers, yung si JV, Marco, and Tony and Lorvin, yung two couples, no, na is kicked out of yung sinipa sila away from the court because of the relationships. And then parang yung desperation nila for each other kasi yung isa kakagusto sa isa at yung isa naman yun naman nagkakagusto sa isa, yun parang hindi sila nagkakagusto to each other pero they all want different people, umiikot yung sa apat na yon. I thought yung desperation nila to get what they want is what drove the comedy, but it was not funny for them.
Alam mo, Direk Carlitos, parang isi-share ko lang din po na parang last week I was watching Peta's segment. Marami silang Let's Get Creative segments online na FB Live. Tapos ang guest nila si Chai Fonashier. I don't know if you know her.
Yeah,
and then
I like her.
I know her personally, but I've seen her work.
Yeah. Yes. And meron kasi siyang parang Facebook page of browning soap na minamock niya yung mga whitening soap, mga ganyan. And then, meron yung isang pang guest ni Kuya Norbs Portales ay si Isa. Basta gumawa siya ng video about alcohol and then she's mocking the government with wala nga mass testing and everything, ganyan. And it's the kind of comedy that we have now. Yung humor na yung digital content. Kasi nga lahat in the FB na, ganyan. And they mentioned lang na you cannot really lecture people in a straight way. You use humor. Tapos parang, oo nga, kasi tatakbo talaga yung tao Pag nilecturean mo sila na, don't do this, don't do that, you must think like this, your perspective must be like this or something. Pero yung humor, it makes them think. Diba yung baka yun nga yung genre of acid comedy, na parang natawa ka pero tamaan ka. And then it makes you change your perspective kahit pa paano. So parang, I like that segment of yung Peta po na parang, oo nga no. And that's what, yung transition na nga po siguro ngayon with the digital content because of the quarantine, di ba? Lahat ngayon nakatutok sa Facebook and everything. So, ayun, baka isang genre na rin siya, di ba? Parang yung humor, di ba, with the digital. And speaking of now, ang ganda po ng isang comment dito ni Sir E.R. Escobar. It's a general question daw po. Ayan. A general question, how can Filipino movie, TV, stage industry reopen after or even during COVID?
Good question.
Yeah.
Okay. A background there. E.R. Escobar was my high school classmate.
Okay.
And yan si E.R. Sunny, magiging dentista sana yan Kasi ang magulang niya ang dentista. But yung kanyang writing skill, he's written several books that are now on Amazon. And his writing skill was discovered by our literature teacher. Kaya naging creative yan si E.R. At i-announce ko na rin dito that he has another book out and he's getting me to edit it. So yan. Ngayon, sagutin mo.
Teka, anong byline niya? Anong byline niya as an author?
E.R. Escobar.
Yeah, yun din. Okay, same name. Okay. Yes. You want to weigh in on the question, Direk?
How can Filipino... kailangan talaga, it's a challenge kasi we really have to earn the trust of the audience again na talagang they will go to the theaters and di ba, parang be safe. So it's not just a theater question. It's really a question for everybody, include
Yeah.
government and the public, talagang it's may I think talaga as far as the theater goes, I mean, or film and TV, I think meron pa rin talagang there will be maraming there's a lot of will, and in fact there's still some activity, a lot of a lot,
Yeah.
there's, I don't know kung a lot, but there's shooting going on right now sa
Yes,
film and
there
TV
is.
productions. And so there's no shortage of stories that the storytellers want to tell, lalo na through this last experience, itong unusual experience we have had the last 5 months, di ba? So
Yes.
nandun yon. It's like, how do you draw them back? It's you have to just do good work, and hope in your choice of stories that you strike a nerve strong enough para they would want to watch those films. But whether that will be in a theater o kaya
Yeah.
online for a while, we don't really know. Kasi I
Yes.
really have to, the whole community has to syempre get back the trust. Yung bang
Yeah.
has to be able to trust the system enough para makabalik sa public places. And
Mm-mm.
that's not just an industry question or just for the audience, and for the professionals in film, TV, and theater. But that's also for government to, parang, hey, pwede bang katok lang po, gobyerno, pwedeng ayusin lang natin itong mga to.
Mm-mm.
Yung
Mm-mm.
situation na to. Because,
Oo.
ang private sector has been doing a lot of stuff, di ba?
Yeah, actually.
Tumutulong sa what they can do sa frontliners, sa ganon.
Oo.
And we're hoping lang talaga that I think this is a case when, yeah, sana, well, marami namang, we all know what
Mm.
kung ano nangyayari, and ang feelings ng mga tao about, is there enough of a plan, or not?
Mm-mm.
Is there enough being done or not? So
Mm-mm.
I think
Mm-mm.
it's talagang everybody lang talaga dapat magtulungan to get it back.
Oo.
Hindi kaya ng isang sector yan, ng private
Definitely.
sector. And I
Mm-mm.
think really in this case, the private sector has been doing a lot of the leadership.
Pigana nga eh. Actually, napigang-pigana ang iba in trying to really participate, that nag-aambag ang lahat. If I may speak for the theater and live events community, totoo po na kami ang unang nabatukan ng krisis na ito, no? Siyempre, because theater, the magic of theater is with an audience, right? Hindi tulad ng television at pelikula, digitally archived yon or whatever format it is. Theater is not theater without a live audience. So
Yeah.
same thing with concerts, same thing with other live events, no? At marami po sa amin, yun ang kabuhayan. Pag wala kang show, wala kang kita. So talagang malaking dagok po sa live events. Pero one thing naman na masasabi ko, in my opinion, the theater community has proven na kaya pa rin nilang buhayin ang teatro, whatever the situation. Nakita po nila sino ang unang nag-explore ng online options. Theater people, artists, creative. Nung hindi pa masyadong alam natin itong mga how do you do it on Zoom, on whatever platforms, no? Using different technology, nag-explore na po ng matagal ang mga creative. So, napatunayan na po that theater does not have to die. It's just redefining it, I guess, for the online platform, pero buhay pa rin po. Pero yung actual na lapit muli at pag-gather ulit, of course, none of us knows when we can do it. I'm sure theater people miss each other so much. No, na sabik na kami na makapagbeso, makapagyakapan, makapag-congratulate ng tunay na harapan sa isang magandang gawa, no? To encourage each other's spirits, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I believe that. How long? I don't know. In the meantime, this is the time for artists to really create. Habang meron tayong hiatus, medyo all our plans are put on the back burner. Para bang lahat ng agenda natin, sige, isa tabi nyo muna. Posible po na may mga bagong agenda tayong dapat hanapin. For those of you who believe in God, who is the one inspiring you for your creativity, maybe this is about time for you to seek Him for new inspiration. Di ba? Meron bang bagong dula, bagong awit sa mga songwriters dyan, bagong konsepto. And then ipunin nyo lamang po ito because I really believe but artists once things go back to normal, of course now we don't even know what normal is. Once things go back to normal, they need our voice. So wag tayong ma-discourage. Yung mga creative sa atin, wag tayong ma-discourage. Wag, wala na magawa. Konti pa po. Konting tiyaga pa sapagkat very, very soon, this nation needs to hear the voice of artists. Kung ngayon ay pahapyaw, naghihingalo minsan, at meron pang pagtatangkang supilin at patahimikin, pero alam naman nila hindi nila magagawa yon. Malapit
Excuse
na po.
me.
Sige, Bibeth.
Ah, Mark,
Oo.
hindi na pagtatangka na supilin. Talagang sinusupil na.
Oo. Gara pa lang.
Aba, hindi ba?
Oo.
I think dapat connecting like just sa sinabi nyo, I think now more than ever dapat talaga people should stay connected kasi
Yes.
maraming efforts to isolate people from each other. And we have to stay
Yes.
connected on a personal basis with each other. At saka also through our works, no? Kung merong mga online mga plays or
Forums.
short films or films or full blown films or television, we have to stay connected and
Yes.
kasi lalo na sa panahon ngayon ng mga there's fake news, hindi lang naman dito, it's all over the world, fake news and trying to control media, but which is definitely parang I mean I think hindi naman maikakaila that there is that it does appear that that's what's happening right now dito, no? So and also yung nakakaabala lang itong mga moves na to get the Department of Media and yung Department of Culture and ganun parang where is this coming from? So sa tingin ko lang we really have to as individuals and as organizations and between the artists and the public, let's keep together, let's keep in touch, let's
Tama.
keep connected, stay connected. We have the internet despite and of course maraming there are also efforts to try to control the internet locally and internationally, pero we'll just keep pushing back.
There's an interesting question here. Isa sa mga
Yes.
comments raised
Sige.
by Marjo Hara Tukay.
Sige.
Kagaya ko, dati rin itong kasama sa collegian. Pero
Sige,
ang question
pakibasa
niya,
na.
ano-anong mga karanasan sa pandemic ang naiisip ninyong gawing opening salvo film post-COVID, whenever that would be? Alam mo, just this lunch, may kinuwento sa amin yung aming anak na babae. And it was so painful. Nung kinuwento niya na nabalitaan niya na sa recto raw, di ba sa recto, doon kinukuha yung mga fake the driver's license,
Diploma.
the fake diploma. May bago daw ngayon nilalabas sa recto. Fake negative results ng COVID.
Yeah. Ita-type lang.
So I think kaugnay ng question ni Marjo, iniisip ko something na siguro how low have we sunk as a people? Because that's really, really low, ha? That's really, really low. Yung mga ganyang mga salida, that's just about as low as Cynthia Villar telling doctor frontliners na galingan nyo na lang ang trabaho ninyo.
Pagbutihin nyo na lang.
Oo. That's, yung mga ganyang klase na na kagaya ngayon, halimbawa, may isa sa mga peace negotiators dati, si Randall Echeniz, nabarel, napatay. Nung napatay na siya, kinidnap pa yung bangkay niya.
Sa harapan ng pamilya.
Sa harap ng pamilya. Hanggang ngayon, ayaw pang isoli. Nilipat nila ng So, yun, if ever, kung magkakaroon ng pelikula, because siyempre, Carlitos and I want to write something about, to do something about itong mga nangyari. And ako, para sa akin, hindi yun mawala sa isip ko. How low have we sunk as a people? Nung una, pikon ako, parang ang babaw na ngayon ng mga dati kong concerns. Dahil dati at alam ni Tony ito, I think, every time na August, ang aking Facebook feeds, palaging pagko-correct ng mga wrong spelling ng mga millennial sa Tagalog.
Apa.
Linggo
Mga
ng wika.
nalang,
Buwan ng wika kasi.
Oo, nalang one word, diba, one word. Mga ganyan.
Nababasa ko yun.
Pero ngayon parang, kasi para sa akin, ang tamang pagbabanghay ng mga salita sa iyong wika, may ugnay para sa akin ang pagkamakabayan at ang gamit mo ng wika. Balahurain mo ang spelling mo, binabalahura mo ang pagka-Pilipino mo. But of course, I cannot even think that now because higit pang pagbabalahura sa ating sarili ang ginagawa natin.
Yes.
So if ever magkaroon ako ng sulatin na film post-pandemic, Marjo, yun eh. How low have we sunk as a people? Napakasakit tanungin yan. Mauugnay ko yun dun sa first na ginawa ng nung yung kanta sa Mabining Mandirigma, mahirap bang mag-isip bilang Pilipino? Tama na, iiyak na matanda.
And this is an indictment on the Filipino soul. Hindi na po tao. This is beyond political identities and figures. Although totoo may mga taong dapat managot at dapat to be held accountable. Pero tama si Bibeth, this is already an indictment on the entire Filipino soul. Kaya yung mga ordinaryong Pilipino na na pumapayag na at tinatanggap na ang taking advantage of each other, na nagiging normal na ang pandaraya, pagsisunungaling at nakawan. Diba? Hindi na tayo nasyasya kapag mayroong pinapatay, na parang normal na lang na ang ating bang puso ay kinakalyo na. Are we desensitized already?
Parang
ito pa, diba?
I think that's one of the isa yan sa mga important themes that maybe it's important to keep it in mind, let's say for the arts, diba? Arts and culture, parang it's something to address kasi sa mga works talagang sino ba tayo? I mean, what will keep us really connected, and what will keep us keep going kasi kung ganyan na lang magsaka na lang tayo sa easy way out and corruption and all of that, para bang sumuko na tayo. Parang let's find out kung ano ba yung common values that keep us together. I mean, it's a valid question for the artists, di ba? We can explore that and share that. Kung ano ba, let's go back to, let's say, kung ano yung sinabi ng ating mga founding fathers, yung mga the people who created the republic, di ba? Yung saan ba tayo can we focus on what we can agree on, what keeps us together, yung the things that unite us, the common values, and let's find, parang hanapin lang natin siguro kung a way of appreciating them again, kasi baka may makita tayo doon that might allow us to move forward, kasi ngayon parang kanya-kanyahan, and that's the deadliest parang suko na kanya-kanyahan na lang tayo.
I appreciate your level of hope and faith in the Filipino people, Direk Carlitos. Totoo. I guess pinakamahal, the most expensive commodity now is hope. No? Kapag mag-crumble ang hope natin, the belief na kaya na babangon pa rin ang bayan nito, then what else have we got, right? Hope and faith. Sometimes pero totoo po, importanteng mulat. Wag nating tanggapin lang na, ay, ganyan naman talaga. Ang isang na-offend ako personally, nasasaktan ako pag narinig ko yung only in the Philippines. I'm guilty of that too. I've also used that phrase. Kapag merong nangyayari, ay nako, only in the Philippines. Ang sakit-sakit po sa akin nun. Na parang sinampal, binatukan, yunrakan ang karangalan ng pagiging Pilipino. Na kahit po tayo ay paminsan-minsan pumupuna. We hold people accountable. At naniniwala tayo na the Filipino is still noble, is still great.
Yeah.
But Bibeth raised very serious questions. How low have we gone? Are we still noble? Yung ating pinagmamalaking karangalan at kadakilaan ng Pilipino, andyan pa ba?
Ang hirap talagang ang hirap talagang sagutin nun yung taas noo pa ba tayo?
Yes.
Although sometimes a friend of mine from the US said, hindi na raw ngayon, hindi na raw only in the Philippines. Some of them will say in America too.
I don't know if that's a good consolation. Hindi na lang
But-
tayo doon.
No, but really, yun ang ko eh. Yun kanina ko pa iniisip yun eh.
When was the last time we have really been proud of our nation? Pagka meron nagkakamedal sa Olympics, pag kumakanta ang isang singer sa international forum, proud na proud tayo. Wow, Pilipino yan. Pag malaman natin ng isang Hollywood star ay may konting Pilipinong dugo, proud na proud tayo. Yun na ba ang proudest moment natin bilang Pilipino? Is it just on the level of sentimentality? Pag kumakanta tayo ng bayan ko at naluluha tayo, is that the level of love na lang we have for our country? Posible whatever it's crumbling. Pero yun nga, makakabangon pa rin tayo. Ang ganda ng punto ni Direk Carlitos, all sectors has to work together. The artists, you definitely have a major role in rebuilding this nation. Kasi di ba ang sabi nila, ang sining daw ang kaluluwa ng anumang bayan at kultura. So we have a major part in it. But it's true, the private sector has already done a lot, but we still need them. We need the government. Even if we sometimes do not agree with them, we definitely need them. We definitely need the law enforcers, di ba? The lawmakers para makabangon. Pero maniwala po tayo na kaya pa rin bumangon. Kaya pa rin bumangon. Wow. I think we should have a part 2. Kung okay lang sa inyo. Pasensya na po ha. I did not realize.
Uy, na ba yung oras?
Oo
Oo.
nga po eh.
My God, 120.
We've been talking for 2.5 hours. For those of you who have been staying, maraming salamat po. You can still watch this even after we go live. You just go to 3 sources po. Mark Aranal channel on YouTube, MarkyTalk page on Facebook, and for those who are my Facebook friends, you can look at my own personal wall and it's there. So tatlong sources po ito. I will not delete it, so you could review it whenever you want to and even share it, please. Kung mayroon po kayo natutunan, by the way, a big part of this program ay para po kami webinar on creative writing and even directing. Gosh, ito po yung mga magbabayad kayo ng mahal para matuto sa mga lecture na to ng mga batikang storyador at manunulat at direktor, no? At artista na rin, no? Pero pinaunlakan nila tayo to share their wisdom for free. Ako po, wala akong pang-honorarium sa kanila. Alam nila yon. So, take advantage of this, please. Share it. No, friends, share it. Use this if you feel na merong part dito na may matututunan kayo. If you were blessed or encouraged in any way. May pahabol si E.R. Escobar na in US, the president can tell appalling lies every day and gets away with it. I guess, no, the deterioration is global. And it's really happening. A lot of theologians say because things are escalating towards at a very frantic pace because we are moving towards the end times. I don't want to go into that. Okay, but there could be some truth to that this is escalating into something beyond our understanding now. Final words? Yes, Bibeth. And then final words na rin natin.
As they say, maybe there's a reason why all this happened in 2020. Because 2020 is also what we use when we say our vision is clear.
Perfect vision, 2020.
Yeah. So maybe we take stock of all that's happened now. Half of the year is over. And then, kanina it just hit me all of a sudden kasi I was asked to make a short video statement for the lolas of Nana Rosa.
Oh yeah,
because
sure.
because
Tell us about that.
yung on August 15 is when we commemorate the the plight of the comfort women dito sa Philippines. August 18 is a death anniversary of the first woman or one of the first women who ever admitted na siya ay isang comfort woman si Nana Rosa Henson. No? So nung ginagawa ko yun, it just suddenly hit me na talagang hindi natin makakalimutan ang mga comfort women dahil itong dinadaanan natin ngayon, itong pandemya, tayo, we are still in our houses. We have these things kahit na naghahang pa minsan itong ating mga technology na ito. Pero hindi natin dinaanan kahit kakapurit ng mga dinaanan ng comfort women nung panahon na yon, no? Yung ginagahasa sila, sinasaktan, ginugutom ng dayuhang sundalo. Nalampasin nila yon. Ang kailangan lang nating isipin ngayon, ano ang mas masakit? Yung kung ikaw ay natampalasan ng mga dayuhan o yung tinatampalasan ka ng sarili mong kababayan. Yun ang dapat nating isipin. And from there, kasi to be able to move forward, we have to first accept where we are. Hindi tayo pwede magkunwari na we have sunk this low. We have to muna assess yung ating kalagayan para makabalangkas ng isang daan na may patutunguhan. Yun.
Tony, what's in your heart that you would like to share?
Siguro po, I'm just so glad to see you po na well and healthy. As in, makita lang kayo sa screen, sobrang parang blessing na po talaga yon. Kahit na social distancing yung magjowa sa magkaibang room, sobrang happy na po ako. Pero siguro what I can really take is, kasi part po ako ng next generation sa inyo eh. And what I've learned from you talaga is that attitude of sharing and informing the next generation. And that's what I can do now. Na yun din yung magagawa ko. Kasi yun po yung mga bagay na kontrolado ko lang eh. Yung mga bagay po talaga na hindi natin kontrolado. And me, as a teacher now, as an artist, that's my responsibility to really inform the next generation and invest in the next generation that these are the things that you need to know so that you won't encounter these kind of problems. Yun talaga eh. Kasi mostly po nasa generation din namin. Yung mga hindi alam yung history, bumabati ko sa ganyan. Di ba parang ang lakas magsalita pero hindi alam yung root, mga ganyan. So parang there's really a gap dun talaga, may generation gap talaga na hindi na ipasa o hindi na ibigay. So it's part na yun na parang responsibility. And that's what I got from you, Direct Mark, Direct Carlitos, Miss Bibeth, na it's really a responsibility. Hindi siya pwedeng sa'yo lang at sa atin na lang. It really needs to be passed on in that culture. That seeming din talaga. Thank you po sa gabing ito.
One last.
Yes po.
Sige,
One
Bibeth.
last nga pala.
Sige.
One bit of advice to all I just want to share to all the people who want to be writers, write scripts, write plays. My first screenplay was directed by Lino Broca. Palipat-lipat, papalit-palit. First meeting namin ni Lino sa bahay niya, meron siya yung usong lapis noon, yung kalahati, blue, kalahati, pula. Yun ang pang-edit ni Lino.
Okay.
Yung mga lines ng mga sequences, ini-X niya yung iba, ini-X. Ako talaga, sinasaklot ko yung dibdib ko kasi ang feeling ko nakakatakot. And then Lino said this sa akin, nakita niya yung reaction ko. Sabi niya, nakikita nung ini-edit, sabi ni Lino, Gaga, kung intensyon mong magsulat habang buhay, wala kang tinatapon. Isinusubi mo lang. So don't fret when you are asked to revise and revise well because in essence, you are not throwing anything away.
Yes.
You're just putting it aside for future use.
Yes. At dapat marami kang bala kay creative. Marami kang
para magkabala,
nakasubi.
kailangan mag-aral ka ng mag-aral. Magbasa ka ng magbasa. Manood ka ng trabaho ng iba. Manood ka ng teatro. Kasi wala kang pupuntahan if you just exist in a vacuum. Nagaling ka sa sarili mo.
Tama. Baka we can do also, talk about writing in future episodes. Direk Carlitos, we're gonna be wrapping up na tonight. Can you share your final words?
Yeah, sa akin, ano lang, yeah, it's important, I think, just to pick up from what's been said, no? I think it's important nga to pass on then what you know. And because ako mismo, I've been a beneficiary of that. I learned a lot from people before me, like well, my own parents at saka yung and some role models like sila Lino Broca nga, who were really great. Who was a great person in his own right. Plus, in career niya, was really a good example for people in film, no. um, and others like sila Peke Galiaga. It's just I think it's important to what you learn you pass on. And I think also importante lang is we don't ever never give up. Never give up sa kung minsan syempre nakaka-depress at sometimes, di ba, kung ano yung mga nangyayari, pero you have to keep on pushing back in terms of parang will you allow it to to weigh you down, or ewan ko, this sounds kind of mercenary, pero gamitin mo for yan, process it and use it and throw it back to the world, di ba?
Yes.
Whether in your work or in your one of the things na I think importante is talaga pag merong fake news na lumabas, it always has to be called out. Ito,
Immediately.
and share people who are calling it out, kasi
Yes.
para one of the damaging things about fake news is you don't know anymore whom to trust, at kung mawalan ka ng ability to trust, that's the problem of disinformation and fake news. Nawawala ka ng ability to trust, and therefore you end up debating facts with each other instead of finding solutions. So we have to agree on what is true and what is not true. Pero kung mawala yung ability niyan because of the disinformers or the fake news peddlers, then you end up bogged down in fact checking, kung anong totoo or what. You're debating facts instead of finding solutions. Kaya in the meantime, yung mga yon, they keep on moving forward with their agenda. So you have to admit, di ba? We have to, basta kung merong fake news na dumating, just call it out. That's just an example. Pero and that's just an example. Pero I get what I'm saying is let's keep on, wag lang tayong, let's just keep on, through our work and through, our own personal lives and connections with each other. Keep on, keep connected, keep engaged. I think that's the important thing in this time of being, isolated. Let's be connected.
Very well said.
Thank you, Mark, for this, and thank you, Tonya,
Thank
for
you.
this opportunity. At
Thank
sa
you.
audience.
After we say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be playing a short video. So I want to ask you to stay for 2 more minutes because there's a video where we ask Direk Carlitos and Bibeth to talk about ano ang kanilang mga pangarap, panalangin, at panata para sa bayan. I will be playing Bibeth's video in a short while. Yung kay Direk Carlitos sa next episode na lang. But before that, ihabol na natin. Salamat sa mga, Tony, can you help me read?
Hello from Gigi Jimenez. This session has been absolutely luminous. Congratulations, Mark, for such display, for bringing out the gems from your guests. All talented and dominant personalities without them canceling each other out. Wow, I was hooked. Wow,
Another one.
And of course, from Christine Bactal, thank you, Direk Bibeth, Orteza, and Direk Carlitos, Siguion-Reyna, for sharing your valuable time. Ang ganda ng mga exchange of ideas. Yes, agree.
Thank
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
one last.
Yes, and brilliant, Direk Carlitos, keep connected. Yes, yun talaga. Connection.
So in behalf of our very special guest, Direk Carlitos Siguion-Reyna, Bibeth Orteza, and my guest co-host Tony, sana mag-guest co-host ka mas madalas. No, parang,
Salamat po.
ang laking bagay yung meron kang katabing ang gandang babae, no? Sa
Ako.
na co-host mo, no? Parang
Pero
ganyan,
masarap
na-realize.
kasi nung si
Pag may
Inday.
oras ka ha, let's do this more. So good night. We're gonna be ending this. After we say goodbye, I'm gonna be playing this video. I need like 2 seconds to set it up. And Here it is.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night po.
Ako po si Bibeth Ortesa. Manunulat, artista sa entablado, pelikula at telebisyon. Pangarap kong ang Pilipinas kong watak-watak ay magkaisang lubos. Walang dilaw, walang DDS. Pilipino para sa kapwa Pilipino at hindi pasasakop sa
Ay, sorry. Sorry. Napindot ko lang. Hanapin ko po kasi napakaganda. Okay. Hirit pa po, hirit pa. Sayang, may napindot
order
ako.
ng hashtag
Sorry.
mga masasamang taong nasa
Ayan.
bilang isang Pilipino. Sumusumpa akong hindi titigil. Magpapatuloy ako sa abot ng aking makakaya. Magpapatuloy sa mumunti kong kontribusyon para sa bayang minumutya. Hugad ng aking luha at dalita. Pagkat ang aking adhika ay makita itong sakdalaya.
Ako si Rico Villanueva.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Thank you,
God bless
everybody.
you.
Bye-bye.